The Oklahoma City Thunder are going back to the NBA Finals. As Dillingham will dribble. Well, the magical season. Barca, 6 of 3, in front, scores! Connor Halley finds the wide open side of the net, and he puts it in to put Florida.
The Jason Gregor Show.
Barca, 6 of 3, in front, scores! Connor Halley finds the wide open side of the net, and he puts it in to put Florida back out front 4-3.
On Sports 1440.
Well, the magical season continues. The Oklahoma City Thunder are going back to the NBA Finals.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Taylor Hall up with it, 4 seconds to go. Cross it there, hits it across, burns a drive. Third time and still time. The Florida Panthers are going back to the Stanley Cup final with a chance to defend their title.
Well, it's game day, baby. Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. As always, the Gregor Show is presented by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province. PlayAlberta.ca. Get in the game. We are live and on the rocks. Jasper Ave and 118th Street, your place to watch the game tonight. Of course, during the game, $5.25 beers, $5 Pink Whitney shots. You got 60-cent wings. You got also $2 mini Rockstar burgers. So, and after the game is over, there'll be romance because it's salsa night. And I'm telling you, ooh, mama, you get your feet moving, you'll be your heart will move with you at OTR, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. I'm Jason Gregor. Connor Halley back at Sports 1440 Studio. We got a loaded show. Charlie Huddy, 5-time Stanley Cup champion, will join us in hour number 1. Got another edition of Thirsty Thursday. TR will be by in hour number 2. Ken Hitchcock. Jeff Merrick, host of The Sheet, will be by. We got Spec, the Oil Report. We're going to hear from McDavid, as well as head coach Chris Knobloch, the Edmonton Oilers. Some lineup changes. Stetcher is out. Ekholm is in. We all know that Zach Hyman's done for the playoffs, unfortunately. Well, most likely, I guess they're leaving it open slightly that who knows. Maybe he'll be able to play with a cast on his wrist later in the Stanley Cup final if they make it there. But tonight, Jeff Skinner is in. And the Oilers line combinations will be switched up a little bit. You will see McDavid, Perry playing with Nugent Hopkins. You also have Draisaitl with Kane and Kapanen. I like the look of that line, to be honest. I like the potential of that line, I guess is what I should say. Also, you will then have Janmark with Arvidsson and Podkolzin, and Jeff Skinner is going to play with Adam Henrique and Trent Frederick, Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse Kulak, Klingberg, and Wallman. And this is the first time all year that those 6 defensemen are in the lineup at the same time. It's never happened. So now you do have 4 lefties. Kulak's going to play the right side. I'm curious how many minutes we will see Ekholm play tonight. Does he just jump right back in? He's playing 21. And you don't have to with these 6 defensemen have to play him a ton. He's definitely going to be on the penalty kill for sure. But I'm kind of curious if we see them ease him in a bit. And when I say a bit, maybe he's 18, 19 instead of 22. So it obviously, I think, depends how the game is going, how he's feeling, but that's going to be the combination tonight. Obviously, Stuart Skinner continues in goal for the Edmonton Oilers. Skinner is obviously playing incredibly well right now. The Dallas Stars, they're hoping that Jake Ottinger can get him a win. No real changes for them. Their fourth line, actually, the Steele Blackwell line was pretty good. And again, there is a slight chance you might see Dadonov back in the lineup, but I'm not necessarily sure why you would, if I'm being honest. Like, what have you seen that would make you say, oh geez, you got to put him back in? They really miss him. Did you notice Dadonov in the first 3 games? I didn't. So that's where it goes from there. Cons, what's your expectation for Ekholm tonight?
It's kind of a boring one, but I mean, I guess the less we hear his name would be a good sign, because he's not necessarily making those grade A mistakes or getting caught out of position. Like, I hope he can get out there and there's not too much rust. Just the way he plays the game, the way he thinks the game, I would think he would be okay. But I guess my question would be, how is the groin going to hold up? We saw him get into that game towards the end of April and only played a minute 52, I believe. Like, they have to be pretty confident, I would assume, Gregor, if they're going to do this with 6 defensemen, that he's going to be able to hold up. But
I'm not worried about it at all, his injury. Like, I know because it happened once, but Ekholm is not dressing tonight if they think there's a chance of re-aggravating his injury.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what I would have thought the last time as well. I know the stakes are higher, and this time you can't risk it. So I would be more confident, I suppose, this time than maybe the previous time. But I think expectations, I kind of expect him to just, play more of it, maybe a simple game. Maybe they limit the minutes, maybe put him out there in more opportune situations. But, he's Mattias Ekholm. They need him to kind of find his game as quick as possible. And I would think he would. Well,
I'm a little surprised by how many people think that, Ekholm in, that Stetcher's a major loss. Like, I'm sorry, flat out. If your top 4 is Nurse, Stetcher, Kulak, Bouchard, or Nurse, Kulak, and Ekholm and Bouchard, it's all day who it is. So to me, I don't see it being a big, like a big negative at all. Like, great for Troy Stetcher. He came in, you know what? He did his job. He filled the role. But he even said himself, Mattias Ekholm's a better player. So you're going to put in Mattias Ekholm all day, every day, and not really worry about it moving forward. I am interested to see, Jeff Skinner. He did play in the only game of his career in the playoffs. And obviously it was a terrible game for the team, right? Like, the Oilers were not good in that game against LA. I don't know if you can accurately get an assessment. It's only one game anyway. If a guy has 2 goals in the playoffs, you can say, okay, great. Do we think it's sustainable? No. So, Skinner's going to come in. He'll add a lot of juice in the room just because he'll be excited. Ekholm's obviously going to be bouncing off the walls, excited to play. And you need that because Dallas is going to be desperate. But here's the thing. Everyone will say, oh, they're desperate. It's the last game. 4th one's hardest one to win, yada, yada, yada. I get all that. But the Oilers, well, it might be the hardest one to win. They haven't had a hard time winning it under Chris Knobloch. All right, 5-1. The only elimination game they didn't win was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final when both teams were facing elimination. So, you know what? And they've won on the road in Game 5 numerous times. Vegas earlier this year, LA earlier this year. They won Game 5 in Dallas last year. They won Game 5 in Florida last year. They're fine on the road in a big game. I think the players are fully aware of what's at stake. It's an opportunity to get back and have a chance to reach your goal. Play the Florida Panthers for the 2nd consecutive year. Only the 3rd time in 45 seasons, if it happens, that we'll have seen that in the NHL. So, man, I'm all for it. And I think the Oilers will be ready. Here's what's unique about them. They have scored first in every game but once. When the other teams face elimination in Game 5. And that was the game against LA when they ended up winning 6-4. LA scored a minute 19 into the game. The Oilers came back less than a minute and a half later, tied it up. Then, like 28 seconds later, LA went up 2-1, and the Oilers tied it again 2 minutes later. And then they went ahead and didn't look back. They've been the front runner a lot. And in this series, the Dallas Stars, they can't get a lead. And I think that's a key thing for the Edmonton Oilers tonight. They've been excellent playing with the lead or tied. The only time they've trailed in this series was in game 1 for the final 14 minutes. That's it. So, you know what? The game was tied. Jason Robertson tied it, and that tie lasted a grand total of 2 minutes and 23 seconds before Corey Perry put him back up front on a power play, and then the Oilers didn't look back. So, you know what? You can call the Oilers a front runner because they've earned it. They've scored first in every game. They're not sitting back. They're not waiting. Now, first period, last game, Dallas dominated. But the Oilers scored the goal in the power play. Dallas took a dumb offensive zone penalty, and Edmonton made them pay. And the Oilers' power play, very quietly, and I understand why people think, the power play, you know what? They're not relying on it. It's not as good. Well, it's not that it's not as good. Let's make that abundantly clear. The Oilers' power play is very good. It's 29% in the playoffs right now. The problem is they don't get a lot of power plays. Do you know what their power play was last year? 29.3%. Everyone's like, oh my God, it was a great power play. And it was, and it is still, but here's the difference. It's the amount of power play chances they're getting. The Oilers had 22 power play goals last year. They have 11 right now. Last year, they had 75 power play chances. This year, they've got 38. Now, playoffs aren't over yet. They had 75 in 25 games, 3 a game. This year, they're down a half a power play per game. Right? They've got 38 through 15 games at 2.52. So that's really the difference. Their power plays almost identical at 29% compared to 29.3% last year. They're just not getting as many chances. So if they can draw a few penalties early tonight, to me, I think that's the key. Because their power play is starting to roll. Like they do normally in a series, Edmonton figures out what the opposition's doing as the series goes along, and they get better. And all the numbers back it up. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. I got this. I want to get to this text. Hey, Gregor, the concern with taking Stetcher out is he seems to be the only one that Nurse plays well with, from Fraser. Fraser, my man, you're falling into what I like to call the online echo chamber. Nurse and Stetcher, they're playing great. Do you know what Nurse and Stetcher's shot for percentage is? 40% when they play together. And they played 6 games. In the other 9, or when Nurse doesn't play with Stetcher, he's got a 51 shot share. Now, they haven't given up a goal, and that's great. But when you look at overall play, you don't want to be giving up more shots all the time. And that's what's happened. So I disagree with that notion that, oh man, Stetcher's calmed Nurse down. They're playing great. They haven't got scored on. Sure, that's good. But I really don't think it's because of Troy Stetcher, if I'm being bluntly honest, because I've been watching and been paying very close attention. I don't think it is at all. And the numbers, if you look at possession, it doesn't match it. Like, they're getting outshot heavily. 40% shot share is awful. So I don't think that Kulak and Nurse have been scored on. Yes. Their shot share, though, is way better. So it's a small sample size, but if you look at over the big picture, you will take it. Right? Because Troy Stetcher isn't Chris Russell. Chris Russell was one of those players who had, like, people like, yeah, scores, he's terrible, but he blocked a ton of shots. He didn't get scored on. For years, he always had a better for goals against ratio. He was a little bit of an exception. So I'll still take Ekholm in the lineup, and I'm confident that Nurse can play well regardless of 6 games with Troy Stetcher. So, hey, Greggs, how important do you think it is for Klingberg to sign a cap-friendly deal? Well, you want every player, Rage Texter B, to sign a cap-friendly deal. But if you're John Klingberg, you have to remember John Klingberg turned down a contract extension once from Dallas. Never came close to it again. It was like $50 million. And now he still made lots of money in his life, so he'll be fine financially. But the way he's played, and he's a right shot defenseman on the open market, what could he get? Like, you just have to look at Evan Bouchard's going to get a big raise, right? Leon Draisaitl's new contract kicks in. There's only so much money you have. So I think the Oilers would love to sign John Klingberg at 2.25. But I think he's going to command more than that. That's going to be their challenge. And that's okay. Every year's different. Every year's new. You're going to have different players. But Klingberg has been an unbelievable addition in the postseason. Same as Jake Wallman. Unbelievable. Hey, Greggs, there was a time that Ekholm at 65 was better than Stetcher. Not now. I have confidence in Ekholm. But if it doesn't work, you have Stetcher at 85% to 90% of Ekholm. Well, I don't know if Stetcher fully healthy is 90% of Ekholm. For me personally, I don't see that. And Ekholm, I don't believe at this stage of the playoffs, Ekholm's and the doctors are going to let him play if he's not ready to roll. Because you're right. If Ekholm comes in and he can't contribute and he's slow and he's a step behind and he costs 2 or 3 goals, 100%, that would not be good. But I don't see it. Hey, guys, we're really going to miss Hyman. You can bet Dallas is breathing a sigh of relief from Jordy. Well, I don't know if you heard, Jordy, the comments from Harley, and I loved his honesty. It's like, Hyman's a great player. They're not as good with him. I'm happy he's out. Not that he's injured, but he's happy he's out. And I think that's a total truthful and honest and fair answer from Harley. It'd be no different if Thomas Harley went out. Or, a player be like, hey, man, don't have to play against Thomas Harley. That's better. Jeff Skinner himself is not going to replace Hyman. We all know that. But I think through a combination of things, can Corey Perry replace him on the power play? I think we've seen that. Yes, he can. Can Frederick and Kapanen fill in the void physically? I think so. Right? And then every other winger is going to have to be a little bit better on a forecheck. But there's not one guy. Like Corey Perry's playing to start the game on the top line with McDavid and Nugent-Hopkins. But he can't even play as many minutes as Hyman at his stage, right? Maybe for a game. He did last game. He played really well. But I don't think we're going to see Corey Perry play 18 minutes a night every night. He could do it for 1 or 2 games maybe. So it's going to have to be, other guys stepping up. No different than Ekholm. Like Emberson and Stetcher didn't replace Ekholm. Wallman and Klingberg really elevated their game, so they played really well. Stetcher, in his role, played well, but none of them took on the role themselves of Ekholm. And that's, I think, is what's going to happen to the forward group of the Edmonton Oilers. Hey, boys, you think Skinner comes in and scores a couple huge goals and achieve a lifetime goal to get this team over the line, baby? From Justin. Well, the way the Oilers are going, would anybody be surprised if Jeff Skinner scores a goal? Like, every player who's come in has found a way to contribute. Every forward who's played at least 2 games has a goal. So tonight's game 2 for Stetcher. Now, some of these guys obviously have played more than 2 now. I think it's, every forward who's played 3, 4, 5, whatever games the other guys have played. 6, I think, for Kapanen. Then he's got 2 goals now. Obviously the overtime winner and then an empty netter. So, yeah, if Skinner finds himself in a good shooting lane, he's got a pretty good history that he can score. So we'll see if he does it. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey, before we go to break, shout out to all of you. We had a massive push at the end of the show in the final hour yesterday. We had our goal for Kids Sport to be at 97. We ended up at 110. And we actually still have a few more people trickling in and said they wanted to. So I might have to update that count tomorrow. So that's phenomenal. So thank you, everybody who donated, everybody who listened. And, some people were encouraging their boss who owns their company to donate, which is unreal. And that happened. So thank you very much. I really think Courtney Weber's interview really spurred on a lot of people to hear the impact that Kids Sport made in her. As she said in her words, it saved her life. She got into sports. She got out of poverty because of sports and education. And now she's got a scholarship at the University of Calgary to play volleyball. It's an amazing story. I love it. So big shout out to all of you. That's good karma. It's good karma from Warner fans. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. It's the Jason Gregor Show. Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. Live and on the rocks, presented by playalberta.ca.
McDonald's summer drink days are back, which means it's officially summer. Enjoy your refreshing small Coca-Cola or small iced coffee for just $1 all summer. Summer's booming with summer drink days. Excludes flavored iced coffee at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Get moving with Volvo and save big for summer during the May sales event at Volvo Cars Edmonton. It's the final month to lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $5,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 0.49% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save up to $2,000. Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
The big one is here at the Brick. Big deals and even bigger savings. Score up to 25% off sofas, sectionals, and recline.
There. I hate new music.
Open your mind. Oh wait, I didn't put those in the logs, did I?
Can you go to Twitter and just post that one? Hey, Charlie, Connor here with the Jason Gregor Show in Edmonton. How are you doing today? Good, good. Are you okay to hop on here with Jason?
Oh.
Okay, I'll just try and hold it. We'll get you right away here. Thanks a lot for doing this. Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.223, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram as we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical, one of Alberta's most diversified electrical contractors, 4 divisions. Whether you need TAG, you need solar, EV for your home, they got it all covered. ActionElectrical.net, as we are joined by 5-time Stanley Cup champion, of course, former player and coach, assistant coach for the Edmonton Oilers. Charlie Huddy joins us. Charlie, welcome back to the show, my man. How you doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks. I'm doing great.
Charlie, it's interesting when I look tonight at the Oilers blue line. You know what? It's the first game that these 6 guys will play together. And you know what? Klingberg and Wallman have played great since coming in, especially in the postseason. Yeah. Nurse, Kulak, Bouchard. Now you bring in Ekholm, one of your better D-men. When you guys were winning cups, you went a lot of time the same 6D for the most part. Like, does continuity matter, do you think? Or, could you play with almost anybody when you've got 6 good D-men?
You know what? I think if you can stick with that same partner through a long process, I think it's a lot better. Like, I mean, I was fortunate to play with Koff all those years, and you really get a feel for each other. You know where each other's going to be. He'd always say, "You go where I'm not going to be," and that's ended up where. But you know what I mean? Like, you just read off of each other. But I think that the answer, other part, I mean, if anybody can play with anybody, I guess is the right answer at the end of the day. I mean, you're all playing the same system. It's just maybe the little things that you're used to with your other partners. So it might take a little bit to get used to each other, but once you get going, then you're in the swing of the game and you just get out there and play.
I don't know. You never, I was looking at your stats. I don't think you ever had to come in the playoffs, after a lengthy period of time out, but I'm sure you had teammates who did it at times. What's going to be the hardest thing for Ekholm as a defenseman jumping back into the speed of the playoffs tonight?
Well, I think you said it's going to be the speed, right? I mean, you finish out in that regular season and it's just not near as fast and as physical and everything else that comes into a playoff game. So I think just the timing part of it is going to be, it'll take some time. I mean, I thought Dallas did a good job with Heiskanen. I mean, they just kind of eased him into it, which is kind of almost, I don't know if they can do that with Ekholm when you only got 60, but I mean, I'm sure he'll be ready to go. He's a competitor. He plays hard every shift, and I mean, he battles, so he's got that in him. But it's just you can do all the skating you want and all the bike riding, away from the rink or at the rink and stuff like that. But it's just it's the physical contact, right? It's just the little battles in the corner, or getting hit every time you go back for the puck, and things like that slowly wears you down as the game goes on. But it's the playoffs. You get out there, you're fired up and you're ready to go, so you can get through it for sure.
Charlie, when you watch this, because I know you watch the playoffs closely, being a former coach yourself and knowing Paul very well, it seemed like he's pushed the right buttons. He's mixed and matched. At times they played 5 defensemen. They've moved pairings around. What's kind of maybe impressed you of your former teammate and how he's ran his blue line?
Yeah, you know what? He's like you said, he's done a heck of a job. And I think the thing is that you're watching the game and you go, "Why has he got that guy with that?" It's when you get behind the bench, you have a feel for the game, right? You kind of have who's going. Maybe he can give him 2 shifts, like, you know what I mean. You just really get a feel for it, and maybe one guy's going a little better than the other guy, so you make a little switch for a couple of shifts or whatever. It really is just a feel behind the bench, and I mean, Koff played long enough, and had enough coaches, and you can get a feel how coaches work and stuff like that. So I think he's picked up on that, and he's done a great job. I mean, it's it's easy to get criticized back there having the wrong D pair out against maybe the top line and things like that. But you know what, hockey's fast, man. You can't get the matchup every time. It's easy to say, you know what, you can get a lot of the time, but there's going to be some times where you just can't get that matchup. And obviously, we know, especially on the road, it's a lot tougher.
Yeah, well, you were there and you ran that and got a feel, and a lot of people, raved about you as a coach, helping them improve their game. And obviously, it's not like a coach can come in and take a C player and make him an A player, right? Like I don't think that happens at the NHL level, but you can help, maybe make a B+ player an A- kind of thing, right? Like they still have to have certain skill sets. But what did you feel over the years was like the little hints that you could give guys that really helped them as defensemen, become more comfortable at the NHL level?
You know what? I mean, I did not a lot. I didn't kill them with video, but my thing was that I'd say to a guy, you know what, for the next 5 games, I did this with Ben Sherrod. He had a horrible, when I was in Winnipeg, he had a real bad stick. Every time he went in to hit somebody, his stick was in the air. And you said, your stick is so important of knocking pucks down or flushing it up the wall or whatever the case may be. So the next 5 games, I'm just going to take video clips every time you go into the corner and have your stick up in the air. we're going to get this fixed. And you know what? As I went through the 5 games, it was less and less because he knew I was going to be cutting it and showing it to him. So he got way better at it. And as the year went on, his stick was real good. And I think little things like that, defense have to know how important their stick is of knocking pucks down and enforcing maybe a bad pass or whatever the case may be. And the other thing was too is for me that defense. Sometimes you get into the corner too quick on a play when a guy's maybe got full control. I mean, it's a Draisaitl or a Connor play where they want you to come, they invite you to come and get them at a speed, and then they wait for you, and then they just spin off you, and then they take it to the net. The Sedins were fabulous at doing that, just waiting, holding on to that thing, and then spinning off you. They were so strong. But so I used to say you have to give yourself a little bit of a buffer. Get your stick out, and they've got to come through you to get to the net at some point. It's got to happen, right? If you're in that right spot. So I mean, just little things like that I tried to help them. And like you said, the rest of the stuff is talent and how hard they want to work to get better. And I think most of the young guys that you get now in the NHL, they want a regular job on the blue line. So they're going to work hard and they'll listen. I mean, they're going to listen to Koch. He's a Hall of Famer. He's going to give them some great advice, and they can take that moving forward.
Charlie Huddy joins us. I love the intricacies of defending, Charlie, and the game has definitely changed now, right? Like you talk about, you don't go into the corner because players today now more than ever, they're not shooting as much from kind of wasted sharp angle shots. They want to hold on to the puck a little bit more. They definitely, They almost seem they want to engage defend, but that's hard because if you're a defender, you're like, man, if I get on him, I limit his time and space, right? So, to find that balance between, I want to limit his time and space, but then I don't want to go in too fast, right? Like, how do you, is it just experience? Are there certain positions on the ice that where you're like, okay, we're automatically pressuring, and then here we're automatically sitting back?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of experience, and I think it's situational too. First, it's how the guy picked the puck up on the wall. Like, is he got full control? If he doesn't, you see his numbers, then you're going to go in and you can attack and put pressure on him. But I think when if the guys pick the puck off the wall and he spins and he's facing at the net, and you've got a little bit of a gap, then you got to be careful, because that's when that's when they want you to come. But I mean, it's just a read. I mean, it's over time you figure out, your foot speed and your stick, and is it now is a good time to go? Like, I always told our guys, like, when the guy's below the goal line and behind the net, like, unless you've got a real good jump on him, he's most of the time he's not scoring from back there unless he gets a real lucky break. He's strictly a passer from below the goal line, right in around the net area. Yeah. I mean, he's a passer from in that area. So you don't need, if you can't get at him, don't get at him. I mean, some teams teach you how to try to force the guy out on his backhand, but I mean, the pace of the game and stuff, and you're looking and you're seeing which is the guy, lefty, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it happens way quicker than you think. So, I mean, little things like that, but it's just, I think a lot of it's just his experience and understanding the game, when's a good time to go and when not to go. And I mean, if you're attacking and your low forward is right behind you, then maybe you can go a little bit quicker and put a little pressure on, knowing that you've got that support in behind you to help you out.
Yeah, well, and that's the key. Like, you look at the Oilers and the role the defense plays, Charlie, off the rush, because this is 2 consecutive series now where the Oilers, Vegas came in the highest scoring team in the NHL off the rush. Dallas was the second highest scoring team off the rush.
Yeah.
And Edmonton has limited them. Vegas only had 3 goals off the rush. Dallas has 1 through 4 games. You need back pressure for sure, but your D-men, do you stand up more off the rush? Like, when you want to limit a team off the rush, what do you think is the goal? What are you seeing from the defenseman specifically that's allowing to really limit Dallas any sort of success off the rush in this series?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is the gap, right? And I mean, and the other most important thing is, like you said, is the forwards back pressure. If you don't have back pressure, and you see 3 guys coming, or that D's beat a guy up ice, and you see 4 guys coming, your natural for a defenseman is just to back off and give them some room. It's like a 3-on-2. I always said was just like you're trying to delay that 3-on-2 so you can get your forward back to help you out, and delay it as long as you can. Try to hold them at the blue line if you can, and you don't want to be attacking the rush or anything like that and getting beat. But I mean, it's just it really starts off with your gap. I mean, for me, it starts when you're coming out of your own end. If you make that pass, give it to your forwards, and you're slow following up the play, and something bad happens, turnover at their blue line or just on the other side of the red line, all of a sudden you haven't followed it up quick enough, and now you're standing inside your own blue line, and that other team's got the puck and they're coming at you. Now next thing you know, they're attacking you, and you're at the top of the circle. So for me, that was the big thing. When you get the puck in your own end and you're moving it, you got to follow that thing up hard and get into the play if you can, if it's the right time, or for the reason of just getting up in the play so that you have good gap in case something bad happens and they're attacking back on you on an odd man rush.
Charlie Huddy joins us. Charlie, do you miss being behind the bench?
Yeah, you know what, a little bit. I was in it for so long. You're always in the action, right? And it took a little bit to get out of it. But you know what? I had a heck of a run. I can't complain, and I just thought it was time to to kind of sit back and enjoy what I had done. I mean, I was in it for 40 some years or whatever. I didn't realize I had coached that long when I ended up not coming back into it. But I've enjoyed it. I watch as a fan now. I mean, most of the time you're always watching as a coach, right? Just to see if things have changed. But it's hockey. I mean, everybody's trying to reinvent something new to make something happen or it's just, at the end of the day, it's hard work and it's skill, and it's having the right combination of a lot of players, and especially in the playoffs, we all know you need a good goaltender and you need to have injuries limited as much as possible.
Charlie, being a 5-time Stanley Cup champion with the Oilers, you're in their, the Ring of Fame, I like to call it, the Oilers Hall of Fame. When you see that team that I know you know some of the players, but you don't know them that well, right? It's obviously many generations between them. But when you're watching these games and they have the opportunity to get back to it, like, how do you find yourself when it's the Stanley Cup Finals or even the third round that maybe it's been different than watching in the first round? Like, do you get a little bit more like, God, I really want these guys to win because you experienced it 5 times?
Yeah, no, 100%. I watch them all year and I cheer for them all year. I mean, I was here for a long time, and I live in the city, and I want them to do well. And you get so close. It's just you cheer hard for them because it's just such a great feeling to be able to get there and to win the cup. Like, people have to understand how hard it is to win the Stanley Cup. Like, you got to go through 82 games, and then you got to get into the playoffs, and you got to battle every other night, and you got to do it the 4 rounds to be able to win a Stanley Cup. And it takes a lot. So to be able to get, the further you get, now you get into that third round. Now they got a chance to close out tonight. I mean, it's going to be a hard game in Dallas. They're going to give everything they got, but it's just a battle of it. So you're cheering for them so that they can get to that ultimate goal and be rewarded. And I understand how hard it is and how much joy and excitement it'll bring to them if they can lift that Stanley Cup.
Well, yeah. And now you, Charlie, it doesn't happen very often that a team loses the Stanley Cup final and then gets an opportunity to redeem themselves the next year against the very same team. Your Oilers did it in 83 and 84. The Penguins did it in 08, 09, and that's it since the league's expanded to 21 teams. If the Oilers can win one of these next 3 games against Dallas, then they've got that. How different was that second cup against the same team? Like, was your fire even that much more because it's the team that beat you? Did the experience help? Like, take us back to 84 and how you guys were able to beat the team that beat you the year before.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think both of those things. I think we learned a lot from getting into the finals and losing to obviously a great hockey team. I mean, they had been on quite a run. They had a lot of great players, and I think we learned a lot from that. And then you come back the next year, you're another year older. You've got that experience, and you can apply it through the regular season and continue it into the playoffs. But I mean, it's you know what, you're fired up. I mean, you lost to them last year, and you want to get back, and you want to prove to them that you're the better team, and you want to, at the end of the day, you want to be the champions. And I think that's kind of what we went through. I mean, at the end of the day, when we got to that Stanley Cup final against the Islanders, everybody in that room was pissed off, and everybody had to know that we missed out on a chance to win a Stanley Cup last year, and we're not going to let it happen this year.
Charlie Huddy joins us. Charlie, one last one for you.
Yep.
You look at the Oilers and just I don't know if you can just flip a switch, but they've gotten together. You know, they had a lot of injuries at times. Maybe we overlook that, but just their consistency and how they've played, really since probably Game 4 against LA, right? Like they've really dominated long stretches of games, which is hard to do in the playoffs against other 100-point teams.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, it's like you say, it's hard to dominate a team in the playoffs. At some point, the tide's going to turn. I mean, a great example last night, Carolina's up 2-0, and then Florida just waited on it, and all of a sudden they took over. So the game had changed at some point, whether it was something that was on the bench, somebody said, or whatever the case may be, or a certain play on the ice. And I think that's kind of happened to the Oilers. I think they just, whether it happened in the dressing room and somebody got a little pissed off and said, hey, we got to get going here if we want to get to where we were last year and be able to take one more step further. So there always seems to be something that most of the time us as fans and media won't know what took place, and to make the game turn to go the right direction.
Charlie, always going to catch up with you, man. Enjoy the game tonight and maybe the Stanley Cup final.
I will. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I bet you. That's Charlie Huddy, 5-time Stanley Cup winner, of course, and the Oilers. I like to call it the Ring of Fame. Of course, their Hall of Fame. His name's up there and will remain up there for as long as they got a rink, and probably even when they get the new one, just move it over, which is fantastic. And him and Paul Coffey, pretty good. But you look at that defense core they had: Lowe and Fogelin and Randy Gregg and Don Jackson the first years, and eventually Steve Smith came in near the end and Buka Boom, but Huddy and Randy Gregg and Kevin Lowe, you had half of the defensemen that were there for the entire 5 championships. And it would be fascinating to see Edmonton and Florida go head-to-head again. Now, it would be a little bit different this time because the Oilers would start at home rather than on the road. I think overall, if everything stays the same, Edmonton would be healthier. Kane was that Draisaitl was hurt. Kane was hurt. Like this year, obviously, there's no Hyman. But the other guys right now, there's no clear injury, right? Connor Brown is going to be back. He'll be ready to go for the playoffs. Knock on wood, they don't have any other serious injuries. I think they'll be a little bit healthier than they were last year. And man, it would be a fantastic series. I hope it happens. We'll come back live at On the Rocks, Jasper Ave and 118th Street to a special edition of Thirsty Thursday next.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
The locks are on a timer. They're going to get out.
Sounds like job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Service team reporting. With the remarkable reach of our bucket trucks and other equipment, we assess, service, and maintain your electrical lighting and automation systems.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection? Incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every playoff game for the Ridge Social Eatery postgame show. The Ridge is the new hotspot in St. Albert, and it's so good.
Legend has foretold of a smoothie so delicious and refreshing that it could quench the thirst of a fire-breathing dragon.
But it's also a great pick-me-up after a workout. The new Dragon Slayer smoothie from Booster Juice, a legendary blend of dragon fruit and mangoes, destined to be your next obsession. Try it today along with the new Dragon Booster Ball and the Pink Dragon Booster Mixer.
3 epic menu items to conquer your cravings. Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman. Are you ready, guys?
We were born ready. Heck yes, Nuge. Drop the beat.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
We freaking killed it, Nuge. That's what I'm talking about, Zachary Martin Hyman.
Nice guys. We're going to sell a lot of air conditioners.
Hey, doesn't Legacy offer no payments and no interest for a year on those?
Yeah, well, thanks for the assist on the copy points there, Nuge.
It's just what I do.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Find the perfect tractor for any job at Edmonton Kubota. Their massive selection of compact tractors has something for everyone, whether you're tackling small tasks or big projects. And right now, take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months. It's never been easier to get the power and reliability you need. Come down to Edmonton Kubota today and drive away with a tractor that's just right for you. Edmonton Kubota, where your perfect tractor awaits.
When you need to get away to find a hidden gem where beauty meets serenity, Silver Creek Golf and RV Resort offers a breathtaking experience. With an exquisite 27-hole course, a fabulous restaurant, peaceful camping sites, the list goes on. Whether you spend the day or even the weekend, there's no shortage of ways to have the time of your life. Call Silver Creek Golf and RV Resort to book your ticket today. 780-855-3982. Online at silvercreekgolfcourse.com.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Japa is digging deep on their 50-year history of supporting Alberta's construction industry with their line of special edition blackout excavators. Visit japamachinery.com for all the details.
Hat-tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
We roll through a lovely Thursday afternoon. Of course, it is game day. The Edmonton Oilers getting set to take on the Dallas Stars. An opportunity for the Oilers to punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup final, which would make it the 8th time they go to the Stanley Cup final. They are currently 5-2 in the final. They won their, 5-3. This would be the 9th time. So they lost their first one, then won 5, then have lost the last 2 trips to the Cup final. So we'll see. Looking for a win. They need one tonight or Saturday, but I think most Oiler fans will say just get it over with, and everybody gets a weekend off. And then the Stanley Cup final will start next Wednesday. If the Oilers lose tonight, then the Stanley Cup final will begin next Saturday. All right, so there you have it. Now, let's get to another edition of Thirsty Thursday, brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the OG location on 118th Ave and St. Albert Trail. And then, of course, on the south side, 50th Street, 92nd Avenue, whether you want beer, wine, cocktails, non-alcoholic booze, they got an unbelievable best selection in the city at Sherbrooke Liquor. David Owens joins us once again. Has got his Corey Perry jersey that he wears all the time. Did you wash it during the playoffs?
Well, it hasn't had to be washed yet. I don't really think washing it during the playoffs is necessarily appropriate.
Okay, have you ever spilled on it?
I have not spilled on it.
Okay,
I've been pretty good so far.
All right.
I got a little tight on Sunday. Some of those Sunday afternoon pops were pretty good.
Something tells me you weren't the only one.
I was not the only one. Let me tell you, I was not feeling very Olympic the next morning.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I got a little tight. Oh, I like that saying.
Yeah.
You got a little tight. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So what are we trying today?
Okay, we thought it's 33 degrees outside or something like that right now. It's hot. So let's get spritzing. You know what? Spritz is a perfect summer beverage.
Okay.
And so we got a whole bunch of different things here to try out today. Now, the Spritz is a beautiful beverage. It's been around for a few hundred years. It really started, the Austrians used to be, there were soldiers in Italy, and the wine was too strong for them. So they started spritzing them down with water.
Really?
And that's where it came from. And then they started, instead of water, adding in things like Aperol and so on. So many of you might have heard the Aperol Spritz.
Yes.
It's the biggest marketed one today. But we are going to try like some 3 different unique ones. And the beauty of the Spritz is you can make it with just about anything to your taste again too. So find a liqueur that you love and we'll go from there. So the first one we're going to start off with is the Salvia and Limone. And this is an Italian
I like anything
liqueur.
Limone, buddy. Bacardi Limone.
And this is, we'll just taste it first here on its own. It's a beautiful liqueur. And that lemon, that strong lemon and sage comes through right off the bat.
Oh my God, you could do that as a shooter, easy.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, geez, that'd be dangerous.
Just that
might get a little tight if I have a few.
Get a little
of those,
tight,
Dave.
a few of those. But just that by itself, or over ice on its own,
Yes.
is lovely. But in a Spritz, and the beauty of the Spritz is a recipe that you can't really mess up.
Okay, I was going to ask you, like, what qualifies an actual
So
Spritz?
a proper Spritz recipe is the 3-2-1 method. Easy to remember. 3 parts sparkling wine, Prosecco, champagne, whatever you like. 2 parts of your liqueur and 1 part of soda to settle her down and sparkle it all up. And so simple as that. If you follow that 3-2-1 method, you're going to have a hard time messing it up.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So 3-2-1.
3-2-1.
So what did you put in this one?
So it's got 3 parts Prosecco. We've used La Marca. It's a really nice, affordable, easy Prosecco. Not going to break the bank on it.
Oh my God.
Yes, 3 parts Prosecco, 2 parts of the.
I feel very classy.
And a little bit of soda. You should feel
like
classy.
when I drink that. Like to me, that should be, maybe I should have like a special hat on or something when I'm drinking. Like it's refreshing though. Like that is extremely refreshing.
And that's the whole point of the spritzes. And the spritzes really, they're an aperitivo. So they're a pre-meal thing, typically, or an afternoon. It's refreshing, it's light.
Like what's the alcohol percent? They're not as high.
So these are about, they're usually around 12 to 17%.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of thing. And then your Prosecco is going to be in that, probably 14-15% range also. Up to 20, maybe kind of thing, depending on the Prosecco. So you're not getting too heavy into it.
No, not at all.
And the beauty is, you can start with that 3-2-1, but like if it's too sweet for you, add in a little more soda and a little less Prosecco, or a little more of the aperitif, or of the liqueur or whatever that you're using in there. So
all right. What's number 2?
So number 2 is the Saint Germain elderflower liqueur. And this is one of our most popular.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Strong in that elderflower nose there. And this makes one of the best spritzes out there. Super popular. And the nice thing about these things is garnishing it too, right? So, this with the elderflower, for example, some cucumber ribbon, some edible flowers, some lemon twist, mint even, So really it's
like no joke. I could just sit here and I feel like I'm outside. Like this would be like the ideal. You go golfing, you would have to pre-mix it at home. You put that in
put that in your Stanley cooler cup thing, right?
With the ice, there's zero aftertaste. It is incredibly smooth, and it's very flavorful.
Clean, refreshing, super flavorful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never had it. I don't think I've ever had a spritz, honestly.
The spritzes are the way to go. And the beauty is that chances are everybody's going to enjoy the spritz.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be in a fancy wine glass or a champagne flute that you sometimes see them served into. Simple rocks glass.
Simple on the rocks, yes.
All you need. Just over ice, and again, super simple to make. So
okay.
And our last one we're going here with that I brought here today is this is the Starlino Arancione.
I like the bottles,
fantastic. And that's also cool bottles in all three of these, right?
It's true. Yeah.
You got the Aranciano, the Saint Germain, as most people are familiar with. Really cool bottle, looks great on your bar, and same with the Salvia Limon.
So we're going to put these recipes on. You can see
they're
them
online. Yeah,
because
Steven's posted those things already right now, and recipes and the products, and we're good to go.
So what's the last one we got?
So this Starlino Arancione, so orange.
It's orange. So.
Orange liqueur, and so this would be the closest thing you'd have to like a Aperol spritz, likely.
Yeah. Like anybody out there who's like, God, I really like doing shooters, but my friends always want to do a shooter. This would be like the easiest thing you could shoot.
This would be the easiest thing you shoot. And it's like
and
light alcohol.
And people would like it. They're like, oh, it's really good taste to it. Yeah. But you're not going to get tight very quick.
No, you're not. It's light alcohol. It's beautiful. I really love sipping on these things just on on their own or with a couple of ice cubes.
Yeah, this last one tastes way better mixed than it does straight.
It's got more of that bitterness to it.
Yes.
So this is way more like I said, more like that Aperol.
Yeah.
And so traditional spritzes that really started were Aperol, and then some people started getting into Campari, which is even more bitter than the Aperol is, and then this is a little bit more orange forward than it is, with that bitterness over the top of those two. So it's a little bit more approachable.
Like if you were having a house party, you could make a lot of where anybody who came to your house, as long as they wanted to try alcohol, you could make a spritz here. Now, someone would be, hey, I want a little bit stronger, but there's the three tastes here. There's no one that could say this doesn't taste very good.
No, and the other cool thing about this, if you wanted to go do a non-alc thing, you keep the soda in there, you replace the Prosecco with like a tonic, and then you use the non-alcoholic vermouths and aperitivo's and things like that. Come in.
So it tastes
you could do the same thing.
All right.
Yep.
And then
the beauty of all these too is if you want to change it up, like I said, you could get rid of the Prosecco and put in tonic in there, and then even lighter alcohol, and you're still getting a really cool drink. And then last but not least here, the team here at On the Rocks has a cocktail called Cloud 9, and I hope we're all floating on Cloud 9 after tonight.
Ooh, the Cloud 9 for a winner.
Right?
Okay, what's in it?
Yeah, so this one
it looks if anybody who's watching online, it looks very nice.
Very nice. Very special. This one here, they use gin Saint Germain that we just had, elderflower liqueur, which we also just had, and some raspberry puree, some lemon juice, and some soda.
Wow.
So a little bit more action going on in there.
I'm really sacrificing today that I'm going to have, because I don't want to waste this. So I guess I'll have to actually nurse this throughout the show today.
You got a couple hours. It'll be good.
God, that tastes really good with the I don't mind raspberry. I wouldn't say I love raspberry, but I actually really like it in that drink.
Well, and I think the raspberry and then adding in that the citrusness to the fresh lemon juice.
Yeah,
it cuts the raspberry down a little bit, and that's really important for part of that.
So what's in that one again?
So it's gin, the Saint Germain elderflower liqueur, and the gin elderflower. Oh yeah, sorry, gin elderflower liqueur. And raspberry puree.
Raspberry puree. And so that's Cloud 9.
Cloud 9.
So anybody's coming down to OTR tonight to watch the game, if you need like something to just kind of get you in before the game starts, right? You're like, okay, you know what? I'm a little bit nervous. Get a Cloud 9.
You come inside. It's been hot outside. You need something to cool down, refreshing a little bit
today.
Great starter for the night.
Like today's the day where fans are dedicated, that they're wearing jerseys outside when it's plus 30.
Oh man. And there are so many watch parties out on.
But it's a good thing you got a little. You almost have to get tight.
You got to get a little
just to get through it. Yeah. Right? You almost. And the thing is, you don't want to wear a t-shirt underneath. It's too hot. But if you don't wear the t-shirt, then you're sweating even more.
That's even worse.
Is not. Most of the hockey jerseys are not very breathable for fans.
They are not very.
No, like they're. It's good because I guess you're in the wintertime. You're in a rink. for the most part, but someone should come up with the idea, someone way smarter than me, about like a jersey that you can wear in the summer in Canada. It's like, right now it's May, you get into a long playoff run. I think the Oilers are entering their window here where Oilers fans could be doing this, be in conference finals 3-4 more times here in the next decade. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's the playoff jersey.
So,
you need the summer playoff jersey. Something you can pair with some shorts.
yeah, maybe.
Right?
I wonder if could you go, I know some people might not like it, but what if you went a short sleeve jersey?
Ooh.
I've actually I saw they have it for ladies. They have like a sleeveless jersey.
Yeah. You could do like the 3/4 baseball style, maybe. I mean, people are rolling the sleeves up anyways.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Get a little bit of that going on.
Ooh, see, we're coming up with not only great drinks here on Thursdays, but some fashion ideas.
Great fashion outerwear.
What's your thought with your number 90, Corey Perry, starting tonight on the top line?
Man, what a great addition that he's been to the team. Like he steps anywhere in that lineup and he does what he needs to do and he goes and does it. And he takes accountability for his actions too. He wasn't very happy with that penalty he took the other day, and went out there and took action with it. So I think that he'll play a good chunk of time up there. Probably not all of it, but I'm thinking we're gonna close it out.
What about
figured it out?
What about your fellow bearded wonder Ekholm coming back in?
Man, that guy's a monster. It's so great to have him back. And you just see that interview picture of him with standing next to Gene. Like Gene's not a short guy. And Ekholm's like towers over him.
Oh, yeah. Well, Gino, now that he cut his hair, he looks a lot smaller.
He's about 1.5 feet smaller.
Yeah.
But
he looks a lot smaller.
Yeah,
thinner.
I think it's good. I think we know how to close it out. We're going to close it out today. We
Close
can all
it out tonight?
take a break on the weekend.
You got any? Do you guys have like any playoff specials at Sherbrooke when you walk in? Is there do you guys have a playoff pack?
Everything game day you show up in your gear, 10% off. So
all you gotta do is wear an Oilers jersey, Oilers t-shirt,
jersey,
whatever.
T-shirt,
Oilers hat,
bandana. If your dog's wearing a bandana, we'll make that happen too.
Ooh, yeah.
Right?
My wife actually bought our dog like a jersey to put on. I'm like, oh, yeah. It's unbelievable.
The dog loves it. Right?
Well, I don't know about that, but actually, our neighbor had it's like their dog. Like I was joking with their dog because their dog is the most non-friendly dog in the history. I've never met a dog that's non-friendly.
Yeah.
Right. Some are aggressive, but their dog's not aggressive, just not friendly.
Just not friendly.
They bought it this spandex tight shirt. It's way too tight for it. But when the dog wears it, it's friendly. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here.
Yeah, they're
well, it's
stretch
Kim.
shirts.
Yeah, it's like Kim. She has a vertical, she barely has the vertical of a skipping rope. But now her dog has the tightest dog shirt. I should get a picture of it. Honestly, I don't even think her dog has to prance. I don't think she can flex her legs to move in it, but she is way happier, it seems, because she's friendly. So
I think they call them Thunder shirts or something like that.
Oh, yeah, Thunder Buddy. Yeah. Is that your Thunder shirt?
That's my.
You go to sleep with it.
That's right, my Thunder Buddy. That's right.
Wow. Dave, great stuff as always, man.
Right
and we'll have all the drinks because we got a lot of text people wondering about where you can get it. So we'll have the concoctions that you can make. These spritzers, I'll be honest, I've never had one. I don't think about it, and they tasted really good, very light and refreshing, as Kramer would say. Very refreshing. So we appreciate that. Enjoy the game tonight.
Beautiful. Yeah, you too.
There we go. Let's get to the con man and a sports 1440 update brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers. Truck month continues on. You only got a few days. Stop in at any of Alberta GMC dealers. $5,000 cash purchase credit on a 2025 Sierra HD model. GMCCanada.ca.
This is a sports 1440 update.
Game day Oilers Stars meeting down in Dallas, Texas. Game 5 of the Western Conference Final. Oil up 3-1. We'll have pregame coverage for you getting going at 5 o'clock right here on Sports 1440 with Andrew Walker. Good news for the Oilers. Mattias Ekholm draws into the lineup. Troy Stetcher will come out, and Jeff Skinner gets in for the injured Zach Hyman. In the association tonight, you got the Pacers taking on the Knicks. Indiana can wrap that series up, leading 3-1. Tip-off set for 6 o'clock. And Major League Baseball today, a light night. Jays taking on the Athletics just after 5 o'clock out in Toronto. Doubleheader had the Phillies over the Braves 5-4 in Game 1. They'll get going in about an hour and 45 minutes. In Game number 2, you also have the Astros taking on the Rays and the Nationals up against the Mariners. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by our co-host, Terry Ryan, also longtime NHL head coach Ken Hitchcock, and Jeff Merrick from The Sheet. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta.
Game day, baby. Welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440, Oilers Nation YouTube.
McDonald's summer drink days are back, which means it's officially summer. Enjoy your refreshing small
Connor
Coca-Cola
Halley,
or small iced coffee for just $1 all summer. Summer's booming with summer drink days. Excludes participating adults.
We roll through a lovely Thursday afternoon. Of course, it is game day. The Edmonton.
And we froze our
Of course,
prices
it
on
is game
in-stock
day.
inventory to save you money. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on some of our most popular Sierra pickups, or select up to $8,000 off on these amazing trucks. If you're in need of an SUV, good news, we have a great selection of Buicks and GMCs. Plus, Costco members may be eligible for an additional $1,200 discount. What are you waiting for? Spring into Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
It's playoff time. Let's go. From pre- and post-game shows to analysis from Kevin, Lopeside, and Jason. This is going to be a fun run.
Let's get to the game today.
Yeah, you too.
Sports leader, Sports 1440.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade: safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Tee off to win with Cattail Crossing's $10,000 hole-in-one challenge, powered by Sports 1440, Canada's first ever Aqua Range event. Just walk up, grab some golf balls, and start swinging. Or book a VIP bay today. Win 10 grand with a hole-in-one. Plus, great secondary hole and leaderboard prizes. Closest to the pin and monthly winners will battle for a $50,000 grand prize. The hole-in-one challenge. Open Thursday to Sunday, noon till 8 through August. Weather permitting, cattailcrossing.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Tall legacy, tall legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Measles outbreaks are occurring in Canada, including Alberta. These outbreaks are highly preventable. Measles is an extremely contagious disease that is spread easily through the air. The best way to protect yourself, your family, and your community is to ensure you are up to date with your immunizations. Don't get measles. Get immunized. Visit alberta.ca/measles to find out if you're up to date and what to do if you're not. A message from the Government of Alberta.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. The team in Old Strathcona have special training dedicated to reducing the impact of cancer care before, during, and after your diagnosis. From lymphedema to the management of fatigue and side effects of chemotherapy and radiation, they can help. Learn more at leadingedgephysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're having a lovely Thursday. Oh, this is tarp off weather for sure. Totally acceptable today. Even in the office. Hey, we're equal opportunists, whatever. Right? Why not? It's that hot out early on. Kudos to all of you who are going to be wearing jerseys outside tonight. I have a lot of respect for you. I couldn't do it. Like I am a wuss when it comes. I don't like being hot. Like I will No chance. I couldn't do it. Like I'll be the guy who's like passing out. I can't handle being hot, man. Like I hate it. I sleep with like a sheet on and nothing else. I don't like it. I don't like being hot. Can't stand it. So that being said, like that's why I always preferred when I was in the oil field working. I'd much rather work in the wintertime. Yeah, it sucks when it's minus 30, but I'm like, I can warm up and then just stay warm by moving. Right. And it's okay because you're not going to be sweating. But man, you get hot and you can't cool down. Like, how do you do it? Right. And then you got all the safety issues now. You're wearing your coveralls. You got your boots on, your glasses. It's plus 35 out. So shout out to all of you outside who are working with all the safety stuff on, because I've been there. God, it was the worst. I remember, like, trust me, cleaning downhole drill pipe in plus 30-degree weather, it's not fun. Right? You got the Farsol all over you, got your gloves on. You're just like, this is the worst. So shout out to all of you who have done it. So it is the hot days. Like, no, thanks. Yeah, because like most guys I know, they're wearing their coveralls. They got like, you know what? You got your undies on and that's it. Nothing else because you're too damn hot. But then there's always the odd person that's like some people that it's like they're pigs. They don't sweat because pigs don't have sweat glands. I'm not being an insult. I'm not saying you look like a pig. I'm saying you're like a pig and don't sweat. Right? They don't have sweat glands. I could never understand some guys. They're out there. They got like their, you know, they're like strutty. First of all, they're working outside in jeans. Then they put on their coveralls. And I'm like, what? How are you functioning right now? Like, I'd been passed out. I couldn't handle it. Cons, you handle the heat?
Nope. Very much like you, Gregor. I like our studio is freezing and I love it. Like I just throw on a sweater. It's good to go.
Yeah. Because I could always, if I get too hot, then I can just take the sweater off.
Exactly.
All right. It's not, no, don't like it at all. Roger, hey, Greg's, where are those spritzes being mixes being posted? Sound great. Well, they'll be on our Instagram. You can check out Sherbrooke Liquor. They're up there. Sports 1440. That's where they're at. I think, Cons, you put them on our Facebook page too?
Yeah, I'll throw them up there right away, actually. They'll probably be in our story as well on Facebook. So
okay, so there you go. So yeah, on Facebook or on Instagram, that's where you can check it out. Honestly, I've never had a spritz before. I can't believe how good it is. Like, like where was I living, under a rock? How's this possible? It is the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Hope you're having a great day. Come down to OTR. You know what? You can get all sorts of specials during the game, but I highly recommend the Cloud9. If you just need something to kind of warm you up, because hey, the players have a warm up. Maybe you need a warm up. Get Cloud9. You'll feel good. As we welcome in our big guest of the day today, brought to you by Silent Rides, one of Alberta's premier bus charter companies, state-of-the-art motor coaches that will safely take you or your team to your next destination. Or, hey, maybe you're going to a big party, and you're like, you know what? We got the big gang going. We arrive safe and sound. We'll get you to and from your watch party. SilentRides.ca. Terry Ryan, former NHLer, one of the stars of Shoresy, joins us now. TR, how you doing?
Yo, good to see you. I'm doing well. It's a beautiful day over here in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. First real hot one that we've had. Hot being like, 20 plus. It's nice.
We got your shade. Now you know what? I might have to go get my shades for the next segment now. I just feel like maybe if I'm doing the show in shades, it feels better. I kind of like it.
I enjoy these, like, they're tinted more up top than down bottom. These are brought to you by my friends in Calgary. Did me a favor. I went out for the afternoon. I needed a pair of shades. And I can't remember the name of the place, but they hooked me up pretty well. Give me a good deal. I was just about to blurt it out. I can't remember.
In Calgary. I don't know their name, but it's a good place to be.
Yeah, I know. It's somewhere downtown close to 17th because I walk.
Yeah, just walk around. When you see a picture of Terry Ryan, stop in. Hey, have you ever had a spritz?
No. That's really weird that I haven't. I heard you say it.
It was unreal. Like, seriously, it is like I don't want to waste them, so I'm going to have it like the Edelflower I've had before, but never in a spritz. I'm telling you, it's delicious.
Well, what isn't a spritz? I take maybe I have, like, isn't a vodka and soda and lime a spritz?
No, that's vodka. It's different, different type of alcohol. I guess.
I thought spritz meant carbonated. Not in beer, like in a lighter drink.
Yeah, they're just more liqueurs, right? And then they're mixed a little bit different. You can put soda in it, as Dave was telling us. So. But Edelflower, TR, because I'm telling you right now, like, I just feel classier as I take a sip of it. It just adds class. That's what I like about it. Like,
just adds a little. Does it add any grace? I need some grace. I got enough class.
Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, grace is a good word. I think I'll tell you right the next, because you're coming in next time you come in Edmonton. I'm gonna order us a spritz, and I'm gonna tell you it'll be your first time, and I could just see automatically your demeanor is gonna change. You're just gonna be like, hey, it's gonna relax you. It's very much relaxing.
This is a very big claim.
Yes. Oh, well, I know you, and but I'm telling you right now, you, me, and the Sandman, we'll go out and we'll get some spritzes. Now, Sandman, he might need 3 or 4 to get him into the grace period, but you and I, 1 sip.
Sandman will need 8 guaranteed. He's a big guy, very experienced.
The Oilers, since we talked, obviously good news, they won. Bad news, they lost Zach Hyman. Like, that's obviously he's been playing great, and I watched that play over and over again. Like, I know Oiler fans, and I get it. You're emotional. I love it. That wasn't a dirty play by Marchment. Like, he just went to hit the guy, and Hyman saw him, tried to get out of the way, and just a freak that he broke his wrist on that play.
When I saw it, it looked like it jammed it up a little bit, you know? Oh, yeah. I mean, you go to hit people in the playoffs. I mean, come on. I didn't think for 1 second that there was anything wrong with the attempt of a hit, but it looked like it jammed him up. People were saying shoulder, but I felt wrist right off the bat. I saw it. Like, it's happened to me a few times. I could be wrong, but, you know, there's hitting it and breaking it, and then there's like it jamming in on itself. It looked really awkward. I mean, and the way Zach Hyman raced to the dressing room, I think everybody knew it was something pretty serious. I mean, he went off there pretty quick. And it is, I can't remember the question, but if it was that, is it a big loss? It's a huge loss, but they're rolling. A huge loss from the point of view that, I mean, the obvious Zach Hyman is a great hockey player, a great scorer. He's made a lot of hits, you know, but those hits and that offensive prowess, that's basically another word for forechecking. He's a great forechecker. They're going to miss that because to me, that's part of, I include that in defensive hockey. I don't know if analytically it is, but if you're a good forechecker, I mean, it's defense. You're starting defense just by that whole thought, just by pressing the guy's foot, the other team coming out of their zone, just by doing that and creating any kind of turbulence down there whatsoever. And he does that a lot. And in the playoffs, really been ramping it up. But they're going to add pretty soon. I mean, knock on wood here, Mattias Ekholm, correct? Am I wrong there?
No, Mattias Ekholm is playing tonight.
Okay, so, you know, what team can say, you know what, we're just going to add what would be the best defenseman on half the NHL's teams just halfway through the playoffs, 3/4 of the way through. So, again, it's not a great loss. Brown will be back if they get through this, I believe. There's reasons. The Oilers have been down. They got too many dogs. They've got guys that can pick it up. It's a huge, huge loss. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong at all. I wouldn't. He's one of the first players I would want in the lineup all the time. But I think they're deep enough in that I still think that the Oilers are in a great position to win.
Oh, God, yeah. No question about that. It is disappointing in Hyman, but to me, I said at the start of the show, the Oilers won 11 games without Mattias Ekholm. They can win 5 games without Zach Hyman.
Yeah.
Right? That's how you have to look at it. And so, you know, tonight it's Jeff Skinner. If the Oilers win, I think, it's probably Connor Brown's going to be ready for the Stanley Cup final. If they lose, maybe Saturday, but probably not maybe until Game 7, I think, for Connor Brown. We'll see. But because I think he's got to be in concussion protocol for a week, so I don't think he could even. I don't know how. I don't know what the rule is. Like, does Saturday consider? Is it a week? So because it was Sunday afternoon, Saturday afternoon's a week, so he can play Saturday night. I don't know what the exact ruling is on that. So he might be able to play Saturday if they lose tonight. But Connor Brown will be in fairly soon. And now he's not Zach Hyman as far as physical, but he's a good forechecker.
Yeah,
right? He checks more with his stick than he does with his body, like Hyman does. And they're going to have to replace Hyman like the Oilers replaced Ekholm. Not one guy, just a combination of other guys elevating their game 3, 4, 5%.
100%. And you just mentioned Skinner. So is Skinner in tonight?
Yeah, Jeff Skinner is in. Yes.
Okay. See, here's the thing. And if anybody is down on that, I tend to be up in situations like this because here's this guy, he's played a long time and really hasn't had much playoff. I don't think he played any, did he, till now? Am I wrong? Did he go to the final one of these years or something? I don't think he did, right? He hasn't got much playoff experience.
No. Jeff Skinner, dude. He played his first ever playoff game.
Okay.
That's it.
Thought so. So he's got one game in. Now here's his chance tonight to do something. It doesn't, if you want to be there, you can't argue that you're sitting out. The team's on fire. if you go in the night and you don't even play another game, but if you do well, if it's me, I can go, okay, if we win, like I can justify my part on this team. I did something. It's a big game. We got to win it. I'm in. I know I'm not part of the depth chart enough to be in when everybody's healthy, but you asked me to do one thing and I did it, right? If he goes in today, gets like an assist or a turnover that leads to a goal and they win. If there's any way, so if I'm Jeff Skinner, I'm extremely excited. I just want to do something. All those things about, slumps during the year and, does he have any jam? I think it goes out the window. I think he's going to come in tonight just ready to pop because it's a chance to contribute.
Well, I look at it in his energy, TR, in the room. Like, Jeff Skinner's been very upbeat, and it's hard. Like, you wait your whole career, you play 1,000 games, you get into one playoff game, and then the coach makes a decision. And I understand why he made it. Don't get me wrong. But you got to be a good teammate. And I think Jeff Skinner's very upbeat. He's a funny guy. But, like, Ekholm comes back in. Even though he's played 100 playoff games or close to it, he's going to be fired up. Skinner's going to be fired up. Like, that type of excitement. You've been in rooms when a guy comes back after a year of an injury or 6 months. How does that energy of a guy just being excited, how does it rub off on your teammates?
Oh, it's right now it really rubs off because it's a positive time and you look for every ounce of positive vibes or momentum you can get. You look for every ounce of leadership, anything that can be good. Right now is the time, right? It's not during the year, during one of those lulls in January or November. It's all nice to have then. It's leading up to something. This is exactly what it's leading up for. You're a leader. One thing to score goals. You're a leader. You like to be good in the room. Here you go. Here's your chance. For me, that is massive. And if I'm, no matter where I am in the lineup, if I'm low down the lineup, it helps because it puts me in a good mood and keeps me on track. And if I'm one of the guys with major pressure, kind of lets that off a little bit. I didn't realize he was as loosey-goosey as that. I love that. That's the way I led in a dressing room. I tried to be a leader. And it's one thing to go out and lead by example, but when you can loosen guys up in the right, it's a fine line to tread there. But if you can loosen guys up and lead that way, and you know how to read that, it's a real asset to have in a dressing room. So that's just another reason. I didn't realize that. That's just another reason to have him in there.
Well, TR, I don't know. Did you see the video online from last game? So, the guys go out for warm up. Right. Then they come back in the room. You're sitting in the room after being on the ice for warm up. The coach comes in, he does his speech, and then usually he gives the starting lineup. Right. That's usually how it works after warm up. Craig, it's not before warm up. Right. It's after warm up.
Yeah. In my experience.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've seen the video or not. So in the Oilers room, it's a massive room, and they've got a big video screen on the one wall, and they got a bunch of cupboards underneath it. So Knobloch's in the room, and he's like, okay, guys, do this, do that, play hard, blah, blah, typical coach's speech. And then he walks out of the room and says, okay, Brownie, take it over. And there's like 5 seconds of silence. The players are looking around. And all of a sudden, Connor Brown, who's not playing, comes out of the cupboard. He's been sitting in the cupboard. He pops out of the cupboard, and it's like, okay. And he starts yelling out the starting lineup, right? And you can see the guys in the room are dying laughing, right? Like, that's something that's small, but it totally eases the, we're in a pressure-packed situation, and here's Connor Brown jumping out of he must have been hiding in that cupboard for 5 minutes, right? Or maybe longer when guys come off the ice, right? Like, about it. That's what I was like, well, how long is he hiding in there? Because I watch warm-up. Some guys are out, get off the ice, 5 minutes to go, right? So he must have been in there for at least 10 minutes, and then he pops out. Just funny stuff that I know some people might, well, that doesn't do anything. Well, it does because it loosens guys up. They just start laughing.
Yeah, I can't stress how much it really does matter. No, it totally does, man. It changes the whole. It honestly gives and especially coming from a guy that's gone out and done it too. I love that. You wouldn't have to. I like to see if it was some rookie that wasn't playing much. That's great too. It's all good. But the fact that it's Connor Brown who's gone out there and take bumps and bruises and leads by example. For him to go in there and wait, it must have been a while. That was serious commitment for sure. Whatever it is, he's uncomfortable in there for that long. I absolutely love the move so much that I'm going to steal it. At some point, I'm going on these excursions, reading the lineups. I'm going to hide in like a junior dressing room or something and pop out right before and read the lineup.
Like, it was hilarious. You just, because his teammates were totally shocked by it, right? No, okay, Brownie, take over. And he walks out, and you can see the players like, what? And it's like 5 seconds, and then he pops out of the. Okay, well, maybe I'll tweet it out, or we'll put it up on our Sports 1440 to see it. We'll return. Ken Hitchcock, the Hall of Famer, is going to join us next on the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, and X. Live and on the rocks, Jasper Ave and 118th, your place to watch the game. Tonight, make a reservation. We'll return to the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features, including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
Experience more at the Edmonton Expo Center. Come for Canada's largest trade show, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience. But it doesn't end there. Maximize your brand exposure with Edmonton Expo Center's new cutting-edge feature screens, spanning Western Canada's largest venue space. Captivate an annual audience of over 1 million visitors during iconic events like Pro Rodeo, Disney on Ice, Glow, K-Days, and so much more. To learn more, call 780-660-0514 or visit edmontonexpocenter.com today.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Is it Riverside Motorsports? No. It's Riverside Motorsports. Over 55 years in business, and people still get it wrong. Guess it's time to get it right.
Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Since 2016, we've been at the forefront of hydraulic torque wrenches in Canada. I'm delighted to share our latest venture, in-house production for quicker turnaround, superior quality, and heightened versatility. Experience excellence at cantork.com.
Blue Jays baseball is back
On Sports 1440.
this Saturday and Sunday. Listen live to the broadcast of Canada's favorite team. Proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball. We are Sports 1440.
Mr. Rooter hits the gym.
As a new Mr. Rooter plumber, you get access to our company gym.
Nice. Where's the equipment?
Over here, we have a variety of tight pickle jars. Open those up to work out your pipe wrenching muscles. We've got your standard weighted plungers, and over here, a pipe wrench.
Why is that guy forcing his body into a suitcase?
He's getting limber. A good plumber must be able to fit under any sink.
For a plumber who always works out, call Mr. Rooter.
Get ready to revolutionize your job site with Edmonton Kubota's game-changing compact construction equipment. From mini excavators and skid steers to track loaders, carriers, and utility vehicles, they have a model to fit every need, all powered by legendary Kubota diesel engines. These machines are built for performance and reliability. Transform your work with Edmonton Kubota's top-of-the-line compact equipment. Visit them today and see why they're the name you can trust for power and precision.
At Fountain Tire, we're all about one thing, taking care of your vehicle. Oh, and your wallet. I guess that's 2 things. Save up to 20% off select tires until June 14th. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together.
Experience Edmonton Stingers Pro Basketball. Tip off your weekend with us Friday, May 30th at 7 p.m. It's the most affordable, family-friendly, fun sports experience in the city. Tickets start at just $20. thestingers.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor. Sherbrooke is a house of curiosities, a mom and pop, a curated experience that is equal parts wine tastings and 2-4s from May long. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Hat tricks, touchdowns, and home runs. Get it all with the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
I don't think Collins, is my fader on? There, I'm live. Jeez. Did you not hear? Did you forget to turn my fader up?
Possibly.
I think you did, because I was talking and then you kept playing the music really loud. I'm like, I don't think he hears me.
The music took over there. My apologies.
Yeah, I don't think you heard me. You know what? That was probably the best intro out of a break I've ever had in my career, but no one will have ever known because they didn't hear it. I'm kidding. Welcome back to On the Rocks, Jasper Ave, and 118th Street. What a beautiful day outside. It is. This is a perfect day for a spritzer. Man, it's beautiful. Geez, all those watch parties outside, definitely be warm. So hydrate yourself, boys and girls. Get a lot of water in you, a little H2O. It's important on a day like today. The Oilers, it could be an important day because they could punch their ticket to their 9th Stanley Cup final and their 2nd consecutive Stanley Cup final appearance, where they would become them and the Panthers, only the 3rd teams in the last 45 years to meet each other back-to-back in the Stanley Cup final. Oilers and Islanders, 83-84. Red Wings and Penguins, 08 and 09, and maybe the Oilers and the Panthers in 24 and 25. It could be awesome. Now, gentleman who's been to the Stanley Cup final numerous times, won the Stanley Cup final, is in the Hall of Fame. Let's talk a little hockey as we go around the NHL, brought to you by McDonald's, where I know some of you can walk around in jeans in hot weather and be fine, and you love drinking coffee in hot weather. It's crazy. Well, $1 coffee right now, only at McDonald's. As Ken Hitchcock joins us. Hitch, my man, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Greg. How about yourself? How are things in Edmonton?
Buddy, they are hot. They're hot right now. It is not only on the ice, but off the ice. The temperature today, it's in the 30s, so it's a perfect May. I know if you were here, Hitch, you'd probably already golfed 18 or 27 holes, so you would be loving the weather today. Did you golf this morning?
Yesterday. Today it was rainy, or else I would have played today, but we played yesterday.
All right. Now, how many rounds do you do a year now? Or I guess in the summer?
Oh, it's way down. You know, it's reversed now. It's more the winter because I live down south. So when I was going at it, we were playing at least 4 times a week. There was a group of us, a bunch of us guys would get together and pick kind of a golf course on the PJ West complex and then just go and play, and we'd alternate golf courses. So you got to play a different golf course every day. So it was fun.
Ken, I know, you know what, you can never take the coach out of a guy. And you're a fan of hockey. You watch the games. I remember you telling me, when you're watching it, you're still kind of watching it with a little bit of a coach thing. But man, I remember, you were the one who kind of challenged Leon Draisaitl in a good way to say, hey, Connor doesn't have to be the best player every night. You can be that guy because you thought he was that good. And we've really seen, an evolution of Draisaitl, not only offensively, Ken, but you look at Draisaitl's overall game. He shut down Jack Eichel in the 2nd round. There's not many guys that will say, hey, you know what? Yeah, guess what? For a game or two, I'm not going to score, although he did assist on the overtime winner in Game 5. But give me your thoughts, just kind of as you saw a younger Draisaitl, and now this many years later, the player you see.
You know what, Jason? I would say the best way to describe it is if you're going to be a great player, you have to commit to fighting for space rather than looking for space. And Leon, Connor's there now. Hyman's there. Edmonton has a number of players who are willing to fight for space and not look for space like maybe a few years back. And Leon leads that group. He's willing to take on the other team's best player, make sacrifices to play against that guy, and that gives the Oilers a real leg up because they can then control the matchups because they know they can negate the other team's best player. And Leon's made himself a complete player in both ends of the rink and in 200 feet. And I think that's given the Oilers a real leg up against opponents every series. When you look at the matchups, if Leon's knocking down your best player, it's not a good matchup for the opposition.
Yeah, well, it's totally true, right? Because he's big. There's not a matchup really that you would look and say, well, that'd be a tough matchup for him? Because he actually skates better than people think, but he's very smart. He's strong, and he's stubborn. He's got a lot of the traits you like. But Ken, I'm sure the one thing when you watch the Oilers, specifically in the last 2 series, their ability to have taken away rush chances for both Vegas and Dallas. You never completely eliminate them, but they reduce them. As a coach, maybe how impressed are you that Knobloch in their pre-scout, he finds out what's the strength of the team, and they've been able to, in the last 2 series, take away their best asset?
Well, what impresses me about the Oilers now is that they're doing all the hard stuff that you need to do, that it doesn't go with fanfare, doesn't go with stats, but it's the glue of winning a game and winning a series. They're all doing it well now. Even guys that jump into the lineup, come in, go out, come in, go out. They're all doing the little things that you need to do at this time of year throughout your lineup if you expect to win. And that's why they're having success. They do all the things that never get noticed on the stat sheets, but they're doing them all right now.
What and that's just like, as a coach, Ken, I'm sure you've experienced this. Like, you can have the greatest game plan, but ultimately it's up to the players to implement it on the ice, right? How did you go from having a good game plan to convincing the players to actually go out and implement the game plan? How do you do that as a coach? How do you make them, kind of accept that this is how we have to do it?
Well, it's really in your leadership, and if your leaders are sick and tired of losing, or sick and tired of almost getting there, and they drive the bus further on down the road, that's like gold. And that's what happened here in Edmonton. Is the leaders have taken over the locker room, have taken over the commitment, and they're doing it, and it's forcing the rest of the team to follow suit. Sometimes you never get that, Darren or Jason. Sorry,
yeah.
You never get that, and it's like hunting every day for an elusive animal. But the Oilers have got it now, and their top players are committed to all the little things, and it's forcing the rest of the team to follow along.
Ken Hitchcock joins us, and Ken, of course, maybe you're torn a little bit. You won a cup with the Dallas Stars. You coach with the Oilers. Your career kind of started in the Edmonton community, of course. So when you watch this series, how do you watch it? Do you enjoy it at all, or you're like, this is great, I'm happy for who either wins?
I probably pick sides, and I'm back. I was born and raised in Edmonton, so I'm tilting that way.
Okay.
But I'm grateful for my time in Dallas. But, I got to know Connor and Leon and Nurse and Nugent Hopkins at a very personal level when they were growing. And so I feel like I'm part of them right now. So I would say I'm probably tilting towards the Oilers, to be honest with you.
Oh, no, that's totally fair. When you have an emotional connection, I totally understand it. As Ken Hitchcock joined us. And Ken, as a coach, like from series, the playoffs are so much different for a coach than the regular season. Like in the regular season, you do probably worry more about yourself than the opposition. You might have, okay, this team's power play does this. It's a little bit different, but you're playing them once and then you're on the next night or 2 nights later to someone else. Did you like the challenge and the fun of really digging down on one team for a 2-week period?
Yeah, I love the challenge of matchups. Having the right players out at the right time, because the games meant so much, the periods meant so much, every shift meant so much. So I took real pride in getting the right players out at the right opportunity and being able to read the other team's bench on when I thought guys were coming out. I loved the challenge of that during playoff games. It wasn't as critical during the regular season because the games just kept coming and the opponents were different. But in the playoffs, when you're dialed into one group of players that you're playing against, and to have that singular focus where you got to make sure you got the right guys on the ice all the time, I found it really invigorating.
Yeah, well, I could see that, right? Because it's a little bit of like a chess match as a coach?
Well, you have more control in the playoff game than you do in a regular season game. And getting the right players on the ice gets the players to think that, hey, this guy's got control of things. He knows exactly what he's doing. And I felt like from a pride standpoint, I've asked the players to make a real firm commitment. I got to make the same commitment in making sure I got the right guys out there.
Ken Hitchcock joins us, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Ken, last night, Paul Maurice, him and Rod Brindamore, they had a lengthy conversation, and afterwards, Paul Maurice outlined, he says, for him, he felt, you know what, I want the players to be in the handshake. They're battling, the coaches, we talk to each other because that's the matchup, but he didn't have the coaches in the handshake line. What's your thoughts on that as a former coach?
I knew this question was coming. I 100% agree with Paul. And if you think about this, the coaches shake hands in basketball. In soccer, they shake hands. In football, they shake hands. They don't interact with the players. And for me, the ice is for the players, the bench is for the coach, and the locker room is for the players. And in the locker room, we're just visitors. And I think we're getting to the point where the coaches are controlling too many aspects of the game, and the competition itself should be the control on the ice, and it's players versus players. And then even in the locker room, we should be a lot less of a visitor than I see some of the coaches now. There's too much time where the coach is controlling every little thing in the locker room, every post-game speech. That's for the players. That's their room. And I really believe in what Paul's thinking. I think that the matchup is coach versus coach and player versus player, and it should stay that way.
I like that. And it's, I like kind of how you said that. Like, it's ultimately the players decide the game. Now, as a coach, I love what you said also about, hey, you have more of an impact and line matchups and stuff. And, some coaches, they don't push the matchups as much. Like, some might say, hey, I really want this defense pair, but I don't really worry about my forwards as much. Obviously, situational from face-offs and stuff. For you, when you watch it now, Hitch, has the game changed because it's quicker in matchups? Like, do you see, hey, you know what, maybe there's less matchups, or do you need just more players that you're comfortable in matchups today?
I think the change in the game for me is more players can play 200-foot hockey. So I think matchups become critical. You don't have to have it as a hard match, but you got to have a general idea of what you want, because every team has at least 3 lines that are fully committed to 200-foot hockey, and every team has a fourth line that can do the job. And so you got to make sure you have your right offensive players out against the right competition, or else they could get dominated by a fourth line, let's say. So I think you owe it to the players to make sure you put them in the best spots to be successful. And that's on you as a coach and a staff to make sure you get the right reads on what's going on in the game.
Now, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because some Oilers fans are superstitious. I'm not superstitious, but so let's play a fun game of what if. The Edmonton Oilers find a way to win one of the next potential 3 games against the Dallas Stars, and they got back-to-back against the Florida Panthers. And you look at how the Oilers are playing this year, Ken. What's funny is their power play is still 29%. It just doesn't get as many power plays, but it's still dominant. Their 5-on-5 scoring is way better. Their 5-on-5 defending is better. If you look at the matchup, Edmonton, what is Florida going to do that Edmonton will have to counteract that maybe that will be different than last year?
Well, first of all, I think the Oilers are way more sorted out in playing the right way you have to play at this time of year. I think they're more than ready. They're on top of their game. They've still got a tough series here against Dallas, because I don't think Dallas is going to go away quietly at all. But the Oilers team game, play without the puck, commitment to 200-foot hockey is way ahead of at any time since I've watched them play in the last 4 or 5 years. So that's a really good thing. The other thing for me is that the Oilers now have people who can match up against guys like Barkov and actually break even, or sometimes maybe even be a little bit of an advantage. So there's, Barkov for me is the head of the snake for Florida. As good players as they have, he drives the engine. And to me, Oilers have players who can play against him and not give up any ground. So that's a good sign also. But just from a fan standpoint, I would love the Florida Edmonton matchup because you've got two teams that are committed at an unbelievably high level, and it's going to make for great hockey if that series comes about.
Oh, it would be fantastic. Hitch, my man, it's always great to catch up with you. I hope life is treating you well, and you enjoy the playoffs, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Thanks a lot, Griggs.
You betcha. That is Ken Hitch. I love talking hockey with Hitch, man. Like how he breaks down, his describing Leon Draisaitl and the evolution of his game. And I love his viewpoint as a coach too. Like, man, I loved as a coach, you dig deeper into matchups. And I'll say this about Chris Knobloch. Look at what he's done in the postseason. And if you look at how he's been able to adjust, and just look at the last two series, the easiest examples. Vegas, number one team in the NHL, scoring off the rush. Edmonton only allowed 3 goals. Dallas, second best team, scoring goals off the rush. They've only allowed 1 in 4 games. And look, the Oilers are 7-2 against those two teams thus far. 7-2. Like in the regular season, when the playoff bound teams play the other playoff bound teams, no one dominates another. Like I crunch all the numbers in the regular season. Like if you've got like maybe a 590 or 600, that's unreal against the other playoff teams. So what the Oilers have done here in the last 2 series, I don't think can be overlooked. Take a quick break. We'll return. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley. We'll get to Jeff Merrick next.
We've got some good news for you. Employee pricing is back at St. Albert Dodge. You pay what we pay, and if you're in the market for a new vehicle, it just doesn't get any better than that. You'll get a great deal, and it's so easy. No complications, no negotiations. The pricing is simple. Your biggest challenge will be choosing the vehicle you want. Employee pricing. Come see us now for the best selection and the best pre-tariff prices of the year, and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Summit Restaurant, located in the heart of the Silent Ice Center and just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Summit is your destination for exceptional house-made pizza, delicious entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails. Experience the perfect blend of flavor and ambiance in a modern setting. Join us for a straightforward yet elevated dining experience where our commitment to quality speaks to every bite and sip. Make Summit Restaurant your next night on the town.
Hey, Alberta, the all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
McDonald's summer drink days are back, which means it's officially summer. Enjoy your refreshing small Coca-Cola or small iced coffee for just $1 all summer. Summer's booming with summer drink days. Excludes flavored iced coffee at participating McDonald's in Canada. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Do it. Your vehicle is a big investment. Protect it at Hughes Car Wash. We use only clean, fresh water and the highest quality car wash soap. Hughes Car Wash, the car wash pros.
Find us at HughesCarWash.com.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
We've finished construction of our gamma radiation containment facility. Is it up to code? Is it going to be safe?
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Testing team reporting. We test your commercial operations using tools like infrared to ensure safe operation. Trust us to prevent potential calamity before it strikes.
Facing an electrical menace? Call the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta at actionelectrical.net.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal. Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Watch every Oilers game at OTR with $5.25 Molson Canadian, $5 Pink Whitney shots, and 60-cent wings. Plus, play Oilers Score and Win for your chance to win On the Rocks gift cards. Oilers Hockey at OTR. Book your table today. Jasper Ave and 118th.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
348. Welcome back, Gregor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely, beautiful Thursday, man. What a gorgeous day out. And hey, Oiler fans, could be an even better evening if your team's able to win and punch their ticket back to the Stanley Cup final, which if the Oilers win tonight would start on Wednesday. Nice. Now let's talk a little hockey as we get to our playoff report, brought to you by your Alberta GMC dealers. Truck month continues on now. Stop into your Alberta GMC dealer and get $5,000 cash purchase credit on a 2025 Sierra HD model, only at Alberta GMC dealers. As Jeff Merrick, host of The Sheet, joins us. And Jeffrey, good afternoon. Hey, have you ever had a spritz?
What's that?
Have you ever had like a spritz? You know, the like elderflower soda. We had them here for our Thursday. Dude,
yeah.
I've never had one before. I can't believe how refreshing it is.
Oh, dude, they're fantastic. 100%. Yeah, I love them.
Yeah. So clearly I've been living in a rock or under a rock because I've never had one before. So it's good. Let's start with last night. The Panthers, man, sure. for 30 minutes, people thought, oh, this game's going to game 6. And the Panthers are like, all right, let's end this. And they score 3 goals in the second half of the second period. And pretty much, and then now give Carolina credit. They tied it, but ultimately Florida won. They're the better team. They're deserving of moving on.
You know, it's interesting too. And that the second Aho goal kind of had an odor about it. And even when he scored that one, you think, okay, maybe Bob's going to let in a couple of clunkers here. I never had the feeling that Florida would let the game get out of reach. There are just some teams that once upon a time in their story, they panic and they totally lose their composure. That's the thing about the Florida Panthers now is they are so composed and chilled under any situation that Carolina snaps a couple of passes to Bobrovsky, no panic whatsoever, and then bang, bang. It's that quick strike Cobra attack of the Florida Panthers. And you're right, they good on the Carolina Hurricanes. They did not go meekly. But listen, the Florida Panthers, bluntly, they're the class of the NHL right now. And, everybody wants to be like them. And I'll tell you what, Jason, been thinking a lot about this recently. The thing that impresses me most about the Florida Panthers, I'll throw this one back your direction. Tell me who is a good skater on the team.
Forsling.
Okay, but he's not like, the old Boreas Solomon. He's not like Scott Niedermayer. He's a good skater, but no one on that team has that burst that's going to blow by you. It's nice to have, and listen, you certainly want to have a team full of great skaters that have that in your arsenal. But if someone said to me the other day, I was bringing this point up on the sheet the other day, I'm like, outside of a couple of players in Edmonton, Connor McDavid being the most obvious one, this isn't, the remaining 4 teams aren't full of great skaters here, aren't full of fast skaters. It's more about how you compete in the playoffs. Now, listen, I'll take Connor McDavid and Kasperi Kapanen's burst of speed any day of the week. This person brought up an interesting point. They said to me, in the playoffs where things are so tight, Like, you have to be so comfortable being uncomfortable. Those are the teams that will succeed. He said, look, you can have the fastest player in the world, like Edmonton does, but do they get enough ice to actually ever get to top speed in the playoffs? It's not like the regular season where you have a lot of ice to get there. He said, like, look, the Florida Panthers are so comfortable in really uncomfortable situations. It's a long-winded answer I'm giving you here, Jason, to say that, the Florida Panthers are a tough out for anybody. And just when you think you have them, and the Maple Leafs thought they had them, and Carolina thought they had them in last night's game, they come back quickly. And you said, like, that Barkov play, to me, that Barkov assist, where he just shook off Dmitry Orlov behind the net, to me, that's the best play I've seen all playoffs. That's just strength and will and determination and perseverance by one of the best players in the game. They're amazing. And now everyone's trying to copy what they're doing, and I don't blame them.
Now, I got to ask you a question. Dallas, Vegas, Toronto, Carolina. Who do you think are better teams?
Sorry, Dallas,
Vegas, Carolina, Toronto.
Do you want me to rank those teams?
Yeah.
At the beginning of the playoffs, I would have put, even though they really slumped going into the postseason, I would have put Dallas first, Vegas second.
Yeah. And I would agree with you. And my point is, like the Edmonton Oilers have dominated those two teams, and everybody still doubts Edmonton. Like, I don't really get, like, I read all the stuff, and I'm not even a homer for the Oilers, but I do all my own research, and I'm like, what are people watching? Like, the Oilers, they dominated Vegas. And in this series, now, hey, your goalie needs to have a good period every now and then, and Skinner's had 2 really good periods. But for the most part, like, Dallas has 1 goal, 5-on-5 off the rush. Like, I'm kind of surprised how many people are like, oh, yeah, Florida's unreal. Edmonton's okay. And I'm like, what? I don't get it. Like, why do you think there's so much doubt and questioning still for the Oilers, even though they're 1 win away from going to the Cup final?
I still think it's the goaltender. I really do. And despite the fact that Stuart Skinner had a best feel-good story in these playoffs, I still think there's doubt there. But let me add another log on the fire here about the Oilers. So, Brian Burke always reminds me that when he started in the business as a manager, he used to always say, he still does, you judge trades based on if the guy you made the trade with got fired. Then it was a good trade. Yeah, this guy got smoked. This guy got piped after I made this trade. Yeah, I fleeced him. Yeah, shake hands with me. You better count your fingers. And I always think about how teams can beat each other like GMs used to want to beat each other. And I look at the Edmonton Oilers. I was mentioning this today with Tyler Yaremchuk. Like, the Calgary Flames never recovered from that beating in the playoffs, right? And Jacob Markstrom never recovered. I might make the argument as well. And Edmonton's always been Jacob Markstrom's kryptonite, but still. And I have a look at, after the Los Angeles Kings this year, they had to make major changes, and those changes will continue. Vegas Golden Knights, Vegas is going to make changes after that Edmonton series. And I'll tell you what, if Edmonton wins tonight, if Edmonton wins in general, I really, Jason, have a sneaking suspicion you will see major changes with the Dallas Stars. Like, I'm talking major changes. This is an owner that's given this team everything they've wanted over the past however many years, and they're not seeing a return. And 2 years in a row, it's at the hands of the Edmonton Oilers. I really do sort of measure teams by when they beat you, how crippling an effect it has on your organization. Look at the wasteland that Edmonton's created. And if they especially if they beat them, they beat Dallas at home tonight, the offseason changes, I think, for the Dallas Stars, it won't just be cosmetic changes, little changes around the edges. It will be profound changes to this team. I firmly believe that.
Well, I can see why. Like, they're older and slower. I'm like, you know what? Like, they've had stretches here in the playoffs against Edmonton, but there's been long stretches where the Oilers, to me, are clearly the better team. Like, Dallas had a good first period last game. They were the better team. And then Edmonton said, okay, we'll take over. Yeah. And Dallas did nothing in the final 40 minutes.
You can't, like, if you're Dallas, you can't boast about an explosive offense. and this, incredibly offensively gifted team, and then get totally, completely rinsed 5-on-5. Jason, the only 2 forwards that have showed up here for Dallas are from trades this year. It's Michael Granlund and it's Mikko Rantanen. Yeah. Where's all the homegrown help? Where's all the guys that have been there for so long? The big Dallas Stars. The Edmonton Oilers have completely neutralized this entire forward group except for those 2 guys who weren't even Dallas Stars at the beginning of the season. And I do feel bad for Wyatt Johnston, who's, wearing the green jacket and all this. I know plus minus is a flawed stat, but still. And I'll tell you what, part of me in the back of my head is wondering, who his minor hockey coach was growing up with the Toronto Marlies, the GTHL? It was Paul Coffey. I just still wonder in the back of my mind whether Coffey's looking at Wyatt Johnston and part of him maybe feels bad that, he's a wonderfully gifted young player in the NHL, going to be a superstar for a long time. He's really struggling out there against the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah. Oh, he is. Yeah. I agree, and I give the Oilers credit. I think, I look forward to the matchup. I think Edmonton and Florida will be it's a rematch. I love rematch. We never see it in the NHL. We've seen it twice in 45 years. And I put out the tweet earlier, the fact that Gretzky lost his first one with the Oilers, and then they beat the Islanders the next year. Crosby lost his first year in the Cup with the Penguins, beat them the next year in Detroit, and then McDavid loses his first year to Florida. Although I could probably put in Draisaitl in that category, and then if they beat him, it would just be a weird trend that has happened, if indeed it does happen. Quickly, your thoughts on Patrick Roy staying in New York, and what do you think the Penguins are going to do for a coach?
Okay, so first of all, to Patrick Roy, I think that is a savvy move by Matthew Darche. As a new general manager, you only have so many bullets in your chamber you can use. There's no point in using one early. I think you wait to see if it works here with Patrick Roy under the new regime, and if it's not, then you use the bullet. You don't come in and dust people right away. I mean, he's taking the very sane, calm approach of, I am the new GM here. I want to have a look under the hood. I want to figure out what this organization is all about. So that's a wise move by Matthew Darche, not to come in and upset the apple cart right away. As for the Pittsburgh Penguins, look, I think that, one of the hot names that's out there is obviously Mitch Love. Played with Everett from Quesnel, BC. He's interviewing with Seattle. I think he had a couple of days ago, a 4-hour interview with the Seattle Kraken. He's going deep with them. I think the Penguins and the Penguins are in on Mitch Love as well. He seems to be someone that they identified early. So to me, it's the battle here. Who gets Mitch Love? Is it going to be the Pittsburgh Penguins? Because I can see Kyle Dubas looking at Mitch Love and saying, "Hey, we think this guy has the potential to be the next Spencer Carberry," and he probably does. Or does Seattle, get in there quicker with an even better offer? But make no mistake about it. It sounds like Mitch Love is ending up somewhere. It's either going to be Seattle or it's going to be Pittsburgh.
All right, Jeffrey. As always, thanks for this. And do the Oilers finish it tonight?
Yes, they do. I was thinking about this. We know in games like this, the first 10 minutes, I mean, that crowd is going to be behind Dallas. The crowd is going to be, going crazy for the Dallas Stars in that first 10. But if there's one team that can take a crowd out of a game early, it's the Edmonton Oilers. And I don't think the Oilers are going to just sit back and try to withstand the first 10 minutes. I think the Oilers go right at them, and they have the firepower to take that crowd out early. If I'm a gambling man, I'm taking the Oilers to finish it off tonight. And then we'll see what the carnage is in Dallas.
Ooh, yeah. Well, they should have some Jamie Benn maybe moving on.
Well, I mean, he's at the end of his contract, right? I mean, he's on the expiring. But I wonder about, I don't think that Jim Nill's in trouble here. But I think that, outside of a couple of the obvious names, I think that if they go out against Edmonton, I think just about everything is on the table for Dallas. Not that they want to take a huge step back and not be competitive, but I think you'll see some perhaps surprising moves from Jim Nill.
Well, it's 3 consecutive conference final losses, right? So they're like, we're close, but we're not getting any better. We're just like Carolina the West.
There is going to be, you know what? You bring up the best point, and that is there is going to be a sort of Vegas Golden Knights, this isn't good enough vibe in the organization if/when they go out against the Edmonton Oilers. This is not good enough for them. This is not good enough.
That's fair. Awesome, buddy. Thanks, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Jason. Talk soon, pal.
That's Jeff Merrick from Daily Face-Off, host of The Sheet. We are live and on the rocks. It's Jason Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. Let's get to the con man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Booster Juice. Oh, the Dragon. Oh, you want the Dragon smoothie, Dragon Slayer smoothie. You get the booster balls. Oh, if you like dragons, stop in at Booster Juice. All flavors.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
It's game day. Oilers Stars down in Dallas for Game 5. Oh, it's the chance to wrap this one up, leading 3-1. Pregame coverage gets going at 5 o'clock with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Jason Gregor right here on Sports 1440. Good news for the Oilers. Mattias Ekholm drawing into the lineup. Tough news, no Zach Hyman, but Jeff Skinner gets back on the ice. Stuart Skinner in the starters net. Newly appointed New York Islanders GM Matthew Darch confirmed that head coach Patrick Waugh will remain in his position during the introductory press conference today, also saying there's no intention of trading the first overall pick in the 2025 draft. And Jonathan Toews told his agent he's 100% committed to an NHL comeback and does have interest from a few teams per reports. In the association tonight, Pacers can wrap up their series with the Knicks out at MSG. Tip off on that one at 6 o'clock. And in the majors, the Blue Jays taking on the Athletics at the Rogers Center. First pitch set for 5:07. You also got the Rays and Astros and the Mariners hosting the Nationals. Phillies and Braves today, doubleheader. Phillies victorious in Game 1 at 5-4. Game 2 gets going in about 40 minutes. Coming up in hour number 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear from members of the Oilers. Also be joined by Mark Spector live from Dallas and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting.
Connor Halley with you, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you're happy.
Personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk. Elevate your style game.
We'll return to the Gregor Show. Presented by
explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Hold on to your
Did you
hockey
not hear?
helmet,
Did you forget?
Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings. that
The music
fly off the
tickle.
plate faster than a slap shot.
108
And
teacher, what a
roasted
beautiful-
Canadians for $5.25.
Welcome back to On the Rocks. Yeah,
OTR's TVs. Hey, they're so clear. You'll see.
We'll
the
return to the
puck
Gregor
better than
Show.
the ref.
Presented
That
by-
ain't hard, is it?
Welcome back.
And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend.
Sports
See the
14.
menu at ontherocks.yeg.com.
It's playoff time, and we've got a lot to talk about. This is Andrew Walker on Edmonton Sports Leader, Sports 1440. Tune in after every playoff game for the Ridge Social Eatery postgame show. The Ridge is the new hotspot in St. Albert, and it's so good.
The month of May brings machines, mud, and for us, many an opportunity. We're GS Construction, and we love the warmer weather because it means we can get to work. But to keep things moving, we need the right people on our team. You built your skills. You know your work matters. Now's the time to bring that experience to a crew that gets it. We're hiring experienced top men and pipe layers. So if you're ready to dig in and be part of a team that has your back, apply now at gsconstruction.ca for this great opportunity.
I won't shave till we bring home the cup.
And I like to do a shot for every playoff goal.
My jersey's not coming off until we're the city of champs again.
Want a playoff superstition that always wins? Pick up a bag of Wilhauk beef jerky for every game. Because when it comes to the playoffs, where there's a Wilhauk, there's a way.
Make every playoff game a Will Hockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't bring home the cup with salad.
Dang. Last season, you bought new clubs to fix your game. You spent the entire season trying to learn how to hit with your magic clubs. And guess what? Dang. They didn't help your game. Now you're convinced it's your swing, but it really is your clubs. Even though you were told the ones you bought were the best ever made, if they were, you would have gotten better. Every day at Fitted Golf, we continue to prove the right clubs make all the difference in the world. From beginners to pros, Fitted Golf makes all the difference. Yes, fittedgolf.ca.
River Cree Resort and Casino presents the best in live entertainment in the venue. June 12th, the music of Dire Straits with DSL Dire Straits Legacy, featuring original members Alan Clark, Phil Palmer, Danny Cummings, and Mel Collins. July 5th, Ian Munson, a stampeding, spirited celebration of romance, ranch life, family, and forever young fun.
Now let's keep burning now.
And July 25th, Steve Earle and Reckless Kelly, an evening of small band and acoustic performances. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Jumpstart your summer with Wendy's delicious drinks. Enjoy a small iced coffee, frosty chino, or frosty fizz for only $1.99. But hurry, get your $1.99 small drink at participating Wendy's. Only available until June 29th. Taxes extra.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Action Electrical. They're the most diversified electrical contractor in Alberta with 4 divisions in project, service tag, and solar for commercial or residential. Contact them today at actionelectrical.net.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock. Welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440. Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Hope you are having a lovely Thursday. It's a beautiful day outside. Could be a great evening for Oiler fans. Something tells me a win tonight. There might be a few people partying the streets, getting ready for the Stanley Cup, which the difference is this year would start in Edmonton. If the Oilers win tonight, the Stanley Cup final will begin Wednesday night in Edmonton. Now, if they lose this game but manage to win game 6 or 7, then the Stanley Cup will still start in Edmonton, but it will start next Saturday. So there you have it. 833-404-1440, 833-404-1440. It's 401-1440, not 404. What a donkey. It always is presented by PlayAlberta.ca. We got a lot of text to get to, but let's get to the oil report brought to you by Volvo Cars Edmonton. The May Day event continues on, of course, till the end of the month. You got a few days left. Think about it. If the Oilers win tonight, you're like, what am I doing this weekend? Well, maybe you'll be buying a car at Volvo. You can lease or finance XC40, XC60, XC90. Anywhere from 0.49 to 1.49% and save anywhere from $2,500 up to an additional $5,000, depending on the vehicle at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. And head coach Chris Knobloch discusses the lineup changes. So we know Hyman comes out, Jeff Skinner comes in, Mattias Ekholm comes in, Troy Stetcher is out. Here's Knobloch's thoughts on the changes.
Obviously, we're going to miss Zach, not only for his goal scoring, but his physicality, his defensive play. We've relied on him in the penalty kill throughout the playoffs, something that he hasn't done pretty much at all since I've been here. And so, Zach's not going to be replaced, but hopefully everyone can step up a little bit, a few more hits from everyone else throughout the lineup. And then the offensive play, somebody's going to come up with hopefully an important goal. So, there's no replacing Zach Hyman. And as for Ekholm, here's a guy that's been playing big minutes for us since pretty much he's came to Edmonton, playing a shutdown role, penalty kill role, some power play, whatever it is. And for him to come back and feeling great, it's a great addition to our team.
Well, it will be a huge addition. Was there any consideration to go 11-7 with Ekholm tonight?
We know he's ready to go, and we also know that we've got lots of left-handed defensemen that can play big minutes. Darnell Nurse, Kulak, Wallman. There's 3 guys, and then you've got Eki on top of that. So there's 4 left-handed defensemen. So I don't think there's any threat of his minutes getting over what they should be. So he's healthy, and we don't have to worry about that.
Well, there you go. So it kind of tells me they're going to monitor his minutes. He's not going to have to play 22 plus minutes. Maybe he will, but he doesn't have to. The defensive group has played very well. You make the roster move as well as they played, though. Is it just simply it's like Mattias Ekholm? We got to play him.
It is hard. Now, that being said, we've also, we're getting some big saves from our goaltender, and that's part of the reason why our goaltending or our goals against is down. But those 6 are playing really well. There's a good rhythm. There's good flow. Pairs are working very well together. But anytime you have an opportunity to add a significant player to your lineup, somebody that's been one of your best players for a long period of time, when he's healthy, when he's ready, it's pretty tough to keep a player like that out. So, it's unfortunate. The 6 have been playing really well, but we have the opportunity to add Ekholm. We feel that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, I think it is, Cons. Like, this is, you know what? I understand there's always worry about, whatever happened the first time doesn't mean it's going to happen again. And if worst case scenario, Ekholm gets injured, like these guys played 5 defense for the first 7 games, 8, 9 games of the playoffs. So I don't think it's a big deal.
No, and I mean, you kind of get the feeling that Mattias Ekholm, like maybe there's a little more confidence in how he's feeling this time as well. Like, okay, this is when I thought I was ready. Clearly I wasn't. Maybe in practice, testing is just a little bit harder. Things of those sorts, just like maybe it is telling the team, hey guys, come at me quick. Like, be physical on me. I got to make sure I'm good to go because we can't have a repeat of what happened last time. So if they say he's good to go, he's feeling it, and clearly they are not going with that extra defenseman, then you got to believe that he's going to be all right. And like you said, I think there's a chance here where you can probably monitor some minutes, not ask him to jump out there and play north of 20 like he had previously. Just kind of ease him back into it when you can.
Yes, wholeheartedly. And then Jeff Skinner is returning to the lineup tonight. And what's the expectations from the head coach for Skinner?
Jeff is a outstanding professional. What you want from a player, he has brought it. Outstanding attitude. You can see that practices, always smiling, having fun, engaging with his teammates. Coaches ask him to do something, whether it's a skate after, come in the lineup, play a certain role. He's been able to do that and adapting. And as for, it's unfortunate he's played only 1 game throughout the playoffs, and probably a little unfair for him. And the last couple of months, I think he's been playing really well and contributing. Just with going into the playoffs, we added Trent Frederick, Evander Kane to our lineup, and then a lot of other guys coming back from injuries. It just pushed him out, and other guys that, he was probably very close to, could have been in those lineups. We chose other guys just because of whether a line was playing well together or whatever it was. But, for Jeff coming in tonight, here's a guy that can, score a big goal. Hopefully that's the case. But he's also good at moving the puck, and you don't have to worry about him defensively because he has a lot of experience. He knows his position, and he's just a good all-around smart hockey player.
Let's hear quickly from the captain, Connor McDavid. First of all, the disappointment in losing Hyman, but also the excitement of getting Ekholm back.
You kind of nailed it. Obviously, it's extremely disappointing to lose High. Devastated for him, obviously. He's a guy that wants to be out there, wants to make a difference. So we'll miss him a lot, but obviously great to see Eki come back. He's put in a lot of hard work to get to this point. Credit to him, credit to the training staff for getting him back.
Well, it's big for them. Like, I know some people worries with the chemistry. Like, I don't see how bringing back a better player is going to ruin the chemistry of your team. I'm having a hard time with that. It's not like Mattias Ekholm is somebody that is a little bit of a selfish player, or kind of worries about himself, right? Like he's the ultimate team guy. So I don't think him coming back in is all. And the McDavid was asked about for the amount of games he's played the last few years. Is there a physical toll at this stage? Does he feel it or do you block it out?
I feel great. Yeah, it's a blessing to play this much hockey over the last couple of years. Yeah, I feel very grateful to have played so much and still continuing to play this time of year.
Yeah, I think sometimes we try to overblow. Like, is the playoffs physically demanding? Sure, at times, but not every player is injured, right? And it's like you're so excited. Anybody out there who's a competitor is like, you know what? The minute the game's on, like you might be sore, but you're so fired up every time that you're not tired. You're just not. Like, especially, it's something you train for your whole life. To me, you wouldn't be a winner if suddenly you're like, well, I'm a little tired today. Jeez, this is pretty hard. What? Like, I'm telling you, this is the time of their life as a player. You don't think about, oh, I'm sore. You think about, I'm 5 wins from a Stanley Cup, right? Or I'm 6, or that's all you think about is, man, we're playing great. Because trust me, every other team wishes they were here. You don't think the Carolina Hurricanes think they were still playing? No. Lastly, Corey Perry, who's 40 years of age now. He was asked his thoughts on Jeff Skinner, his season, and just, getting in the game tonight, and a guy who's a veteran who's been around a long time, who finally gets a second chance in the postseason.
Yeah, he's been nothing but a pro. He's come to the rink every single day. He's put in the work. He's smiling. He's laughing in the dressing room, and having fun with the guys. And it's an exciting time. Exciting for him to come in and and play the way we know he can play, and what he's shown throughout the season. So it'll be a great opportunity.
It will be great opportunity for you to watch the game live and on the rocks, Jasper Ave on 118th. Because if you're like, you know what, I got to get out. It's Thursday night. Thursday's like the Friday for all you young bucks. And doze, sure. Get out, enjoy it. Come to OTR because it's hockey talk. And then it's salsa night. And I'm telling you, if you've never been to salsa night at OTR, boys and girls, it's a good time. It's a real good time. We'll come back. It's the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca. You can always share us your thoughts. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. What are you feeling about tonight? Do the Oilers finish it off in Dallas? Or do they come home to win in front of the home crowd on Saturday night? Let us know. We'll come back. We got Mark Spector. I think TR is going to join us again, and more on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Legend has foretold of a smoothie so delicious and refreshing that it could quench the thirst of a fire-breathing dragon.
But it's also a great pick-me-up after a workout. The new Dragon Slaya smoothie from Booster Juice, a legendary blend of dragon fruit and mangoes, destined to be your next obsession. Try it today along with the new Dragon Booster Ball and the Pink Dragon Booster Mixer.
3 epic menu items to conquer your cravings. Booster Juice, Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
I'm tired of waking up tired.
Yeah, waking up tired.
Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed lowest prices on all things sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love it, we'll find one you do. Some conditions apply. Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress, guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
Low Tide, Jason Gregor. They are all ready for the Cup run. Sports 1440 is your home for all things hockey, including our pre- and post-game show with Andrew Walker. Sports 1440 is Edmonton's sports leader.
Get moving with Volvo and save big for summer during the May sales event at Volvo Cars Edmonton. It's the final month to lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $5,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 0.49% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save up to $2,000. Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com. You've got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939. We're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
A fire ban is now in place for northern and central parts of Alberta where wildfire danger is extreme. Because of hot, windy conditions, wood-burning fires are not permitted on public or private land. For more information about bans or restrictions in your area, visit albertafirebans.ca. To report wildfires in the forest protection area, call 310-FIRE. That's 310-FIRE. A message from the Government of Alberta.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Blue Jays baseball is back on Sports 1440. This Saturday and Sunday, listen live to the broadcast of Canada's favorite team. Proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball. We are Sports 1440.
Experience Edmonton Stingers Pro Basketball. Tip off your weekend with us Friday, May 30th at 7 p.m. It's the most affordable, family-friendly, fun sports experience in the city. Tickets start at just $20. thestingers.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Can Torque. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantorque.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.427. Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram, sports1440.ca. Also, thanks for listening. For those of you that are outside the Edmonton area, but you love the show, So you got it on the app, which takes you anywhere in the province, anywhere in the country, even into the United States. As long as you're on a 5G network, you can get the app, iHeartRadio, Radio Player, or Stingray. Thanks for listening. We're going to get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialist, and they are hiring. Go to GS Construction, find out. You can send in your resume. And if you're looking all sorts of different opportunities, if you're just starting out in your career or you're looking for a change, they got massive opportunities. And the best part is they love promoting and keeping people in the organization. Over 50 years, and that's why they're successful, is they love promoting their own at GS Construction. We're going to hook up with Spec momentarily once he outsmarts his phone. We'll get to that fixed. The Edmonton Oilers, if you're just joining us, are taking on Dallas tonight. Mattias Ekholm, the Viking, as some of you call him, is back in action tonight. Also, Jeff Skinner, who played game 1 of the playoffs, hasn't played since, but he is back in. And, man, that guy's got to be fired up. So Zach Hyman, of course, his postseason looks like it's over. They didn't want to rule it out 100%. He had surgery on his wrist. You know what? Maybe he got to the point he could play at the cast, but I think it's really low chance that that's going to happen. So he's probably done. And Connor Brown will not play tonight, but he's very close. Now, he was on concussion protocol. I just don't know, and I should ask. So it happened on a Sunday, so they say a week. Because it happens Sunday afternoon, is Saturday afternoon the week? And you can play Saturday night? I don't know. But Oilers hoping they don't have to worry about it, because if they win tonight, then they'll have the weekend off. And the Stanley Cup final will begin in Edmonton next Wednesday night. Because, yes, the Edmonton Oilers, if they move along to, well, whoever wins the West has home ice advantage in the Stanley Cup final because they had more points than the Florida Panthers. So that will be, could be the difference. Right? You look at the last 2 times the Oilers lost the Stanley Cup, they started on the road. And think about it. Like, game 1 on the road, game 2, they've lost game 1, 2, and 7 in both of the series. If you get a split, maybe you win the series, right? Might be that easy. So we'll see. The Oilers would, obviously they don't want to go down 0-2. I think that's Captain Obvious. Hello, but game 1 I think would be massive for them, and it would be interesting when you look at it. Just I know it's totally different teams and all different players, but when you consider, the path of the Oilers, and when you look at kind of 5 years, Ken Holland came in, and Ken Holland made a significant difference. You heard yesterday, when he texted Connor McDavid after 1,000th game, and McDavid said, "Hey, thanks for changing the culture in our organization." That's what he did, right? Pieced it up. Now Stan Bowman's come in, and look at the moves he made during the season. Podkolzin, that's worked for a 4th-round pick. Kapanen on waivers for nothing. Scored the overtime winner in Game 5 against Vegas. Was on the ice in the final 3 minutes protecting a 1-goal lead against Dallas, scores the empty netter. So it's worked. Then you add in John Klingberg, Wallman, Frederick. They've all, obviously Klingberg and Wallman have played bigger roles thus far. But, Frederick scored a goal in that clinching game. He's not against LA. So, you know what? They've got lots of guys who are contributing. The coaches at the GM. It's not one guy like Stan Bowman. If they win, his name will be on the cup. But Ken Holland played a pretty big role when you look at the guys he added on that team, from Hyman and the Ekholm, like the Ekholm trade, obviously massive. Brett Kulak playing a significant role for the Edmonton Oilers. Henrique, Brown, Janmark. You go down the list. So, and then obviously even, hey, you go way back when. Now, no offense, but anybody would have drafted McDavid. But the Leon Draisaitl pick by McTavish, that was a huge pick for them, right? Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 14 years later, that pick looks like it paid dividends pretty well. So, lots. Hey, the Evan Bouchard draft pick, pretty good. Think about that draft pick. If you didn't take Bouchard at 10, like that was a massive pickup for the Oilers in the draft. Huge. Like Evan Bouchard just continues to impress in the playoffs. I don't think we've received, well, that's not true. Since game the start of Game 3 of the playoffs, I don't think I've seen a negative comment about Evan Bouchard, because you'd have to be pretty staunchly stubborn in your viewpoint of Bouchard to try to find a negative in how he's played since. Because, he had the 2 plays in Game 1, and since then, man, no problem. Bouchard has been elite. Absolutely elite, for sure. I do want to get to this text. Hey, Jason, I want to let you know the process working with Graham at Kidsport was seamless. Process, tax treat, everything's great. You do amazing work for local charities. I'm proud to be part of the giving gang. Using your platform for the benefits of others, there are not enough people with platforms to use them for good. Too many are owned for their personal gain and avenue to share misinformation. I'll not always agree with your sports takes, but I 100% support you on being a good human, from Sheldon. Well, Sheldon, I appreciate that. I always say this. If we all agreed on sports all the time, how boring would that be? Right? Hey, I like this guy. Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah, he thinks, oh, yeah, he's great. No, come on. Wait, some of the best sports conversations you have is when one guy likes this guy, one guy likes that one girl likes this one woman likes that one, and you have a debate. It's awesome. Mark Spector joins us now. Hey, Spec, you know what? Like, imagine if I didn't love analytics as much as Spec. It would be kind of boring. Spec, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I like analytics. It's the people that purvey them I generally don't like. Is that fair?
Some. No, I think there's some really good ones, but there are a few. Yes, there are a few. Sure. The Edmonton Oilers, some lineup changes. Spec, Ekholm's in, Skinner's in. And no surprise on Ekholm. Like, hey, the guy's ready. You're going to play him once he's ready to play. What do you think of the new line combinations? So we saw Perry when Hyman went out. He played with Nugent Hopkins and with McDavid. They played pretty well. Now, I don't know if he can take every shift like Hyman does for the rest of the way, but he's there. The line that actually intrigues me the most, Spec, is the Kane Draisaitl Kapanen line. Big, strong combination of speed and 2 shooters with Draisaitl.
Yeah, I don't mind that either. Exactly. Somehow Kapanen's found a bit of he plays well with Draisaitl, hey? Like, he didn't come here to play with Draisaitl, but he kind of fits with him. So good for him. A few things there. Like, there's no doubt that Chris Knobloch's, he's moved his lines around so much this year. Between games, in game, this is as fluid an Oilers team as, frankly, I've ever seen. I've never really, and same with the defense guys. Remember? Paul Coffey's moving guys in game all over the place. Yeah. This is when that comes home as huge value. So you're going to start Perry on there. He's going to play some shifts. Someone else going to go up there, play some shifts. I'd like to see Trent Frederick get a couple shifts with those guys. I think it's time to maybe light a fire under him or give him a little opportunity or put him in a spot where maybe we're going to notice him more. Whatever it is, Perry won't take all those shifts for sure, but he'll start there.
Yeah, no, he'll definitely start there and play a lot of them. Janmark, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson, they were great as a line until they changed them out. So the Dallas side, Spec, Mikko Rantanen's got no goals in the series. He's got 2 assists. They got so many guys with nothing 5-on-5 in the series outside of Sagan. Like, it is, like, to me, now they'd have to have a massive changeover. Like, now I give them credit. The first period, they were the better team last game, no question, except the goaltender. Stuart Skinner did his job. And that's what you need. You need your goalie sometimes to be the best guy in a period. And he was. But the Edmonton Oilers killer instinct, it's been on display here the last few years. When they have a chance to put a team away, they've been very good at it. You're around the guys. What's your sense of the killer instinct tonight?
Yeah, McDavid said at the podium today, and here's a little story that probably people wouldn't have seen. He came out and he said, we expect to play really well. We're good in these games. We love the opportunity. We're excited about anytime you get a chance to kill off another team. He says, that works for us. We love that. And he says, I expect to see it tonight. Then the lights came off. The guy said, thank you, Connor. And I think he was up there with, Corey Perry.
Yes.
And as McDavid got up and the mics were turned off, he looked at all of the press. He said, hey, for the record, I never guaranteed a win here. I just said I expected us to play well. My point is, in his head, because none of us heard I guarantee a win, but here's my point. In McDavid's head, he was so sure they were going to play really, really well tonight. He kind of thought about it and thought, wait a second, did I just guarantee a win here? So he didn't. Just so everybody knows, he didn't guarantee a win, but he wanted everybody to make sure, hey, you guys out there, don't put this down as me guaranteeing a win. That tells me the captain is mega, mega confident. And that's what you want. Maybe you want a confident McDavid, a confident leader. You probably have a pretty confident team, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Like they don't lack confidence, nor should they, right? If you don't believe in yourself, you're done before it starts. But I think they respect Dallas. And the one thing I was looking, Spec, in the series, the Oilers have scored first in every game. They've only trailed for 14 minutes in the entire series, right? Like Dallas has, and Dallas has never been able to kind of put them on their heels. And even in the other game when, I was looking at game 5's pivotal games, the only one they've trailed was the, in Vancouver, they didn't trail until the final 30 seconds when Miller scored. And then against LA, when they won 6-4, LA scored a minute 19 in. Edmonton responded a minute and a half later. Then 30 seconds later, LA scored. Edmonton responds 2 minutes later. Then they take the lead. Like, they don't seem to panic, but they also haven't had to chase a game at a key time for them. Right. That's kind of been a staple here for the last 2 years in the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what DeBoer's saying. He says, we're chasing every game. And I think that just gets on you a little bit mentally. The feeling that, oh boy, we better get the next one or we're in deep trouble here. The Oilers haven't had that feeling. They're playing a little bit freer and easier than the team that when it's 2-0 in any playoff game, we all know it. Every Canadian hockey fan knows it. The next goal is giant. But if you're the team that's up, you're not sweating that next goal that much, and if you're the team that's down, you are. So listen, one of the things that I think makes them have the ability not to sweat it wherever they are is we've kind of watched them win in so many ways. They were coming back, for a while. They were scoring late goals. They've gone in. I'm thinking of the last game 5, Jay, in Vegas. Didn't they go into Vegas in that game and pitch a 0-0 game before capping and score? I mean, that was the lowest event game of the playoffs that I've watched Edmonton play this year. And that worked too in the end. That worked too. So I think we'll see a version of that tonight. I think I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but I don't think we're going to see 5-4 tonight. I think we're going to see Edmonton play. They're going to starve Dallas if they can. They're going to starve Dallas. And as long as they're tied or ahead, they're going to keep starving them. Dallas gets ahead. They got to score goals. They'll open up a bit, but not until, in my opinion. What do you think?
Well, I don't know if Edmonton, Edmonton is so comfortable playing a tight game. We've seen that over the last few years now. They don't panic. More often than not, they don't make the big mistake. And the advantage for Edmonton is like, if Edmonton's, you told me, okay, we're going to play a tight game. And when you get one chance, well, which team has the better chance of creating a good chance? Well, it's Edmonton, right? Like that's been proven the whole series. So yeah, I'd be comfortable doing it. But I also think Edmonton's like, hey, they love being the front runner. As far as they've gotten out in the lead, and they're like, no problem. We'll get ahead of them. And then Dallas. Now, once Dallas opens it up, well, that benefits Edmonton even more.
It does. So that's the game I think we see tonight is that Oilers team that says, let's just split up like 10 scoring chances all night. And we're going to trust that in our 5 scoring chances, McDavid and Draisaitl and the rest of the boys are going to have a better chance of scoring a couple goals than you guys are on your 5 chances. Like, they're willing to play that game now, right? Any night. I think they've learned, Jay, over the years that you don't get anything extra for style points, pretty goals and lots of offense and opening it up. That's, there's nothing extra in it for this. This team's figured out that it's just about the W and no one cares how you get there. And I kind of just smell one of those coming tonight somehow.
Mark Spector joins us. Spec, with Ekholm coming back in, Knobloch was asked about, well, did you consider 11-7? He's like, no. We got a bunch of left guys that can play a lot of minutes if need be, although it would be the righty who plays a lot in essence as well. But so what do you think? Like, is Ekholm just going to be like, hey, 23 minutes? Or do you think he's going to play a lot, but kind of be maybe limited to 18 or 19?
Well, I think the only place that they may take a minute or two away from him would be what? On the PK, right? Like, I don't think you're going to.
No, I think it's 5-on-5. I think they want him on the penalty kill. Yeah, they want him on the penalty kill.
Then I don't think they're taking 5-on-5 minutes away from him. I don't see if you can kill penalties. The duress on the defenseman killing penalties. Unless, let's see how the game unfolds. If the Oilers take a bunch of penalties, then maybe they need to give him a little bit of a break. He's not coming out of the chutes and playing 27 minutes. I think the coach probably has him pegged for about 21 tonight. So, where are they going to make it up? I'll tell you once I see how many times Chris Rooney and Wes McCauley raise their arm in the air, I suppose. How about that?
Yeah. It's like the newest thing online. Everyone's like, hey, the team's record with these refs is this. And oh my God, and I'm like, you guys are creating yourself a loss in your head before it matters. Like, it's so irrelevant. Like, I just find it funny. But that's the one where I'm like, do you think the refs go into a game being like, oh, I'm reffing this team now, so I'm automatically going to call more penalties? Like, what?
No. You know what? Fans are fans. They love their team, and I love them for it. But you can't look at a referee through the same lens as a fan looks at his team. A referee, listen, I know a lot of the refs, and they'll mess up a game or screw up a call. I don't think they won't. But what won't happen is they look at a uniform come out of the chute and say, oh, I don't like that team. Oh, I'm not sure. That's a team I don't like because they beat my favorite team last week. Like, it doesn't exist. You can't be that referee. That doesn't exist. So you're right. This stat on what my team is when that guy refs, it's a stupid stat. Someone's keeping it. I'm not sure who it is. Scouting the refs maybe on Twitter.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That stat. Yeah, I don't like that stat. It's just, and I'll tell you what, I'll bet the refs hate that stat.
Well, it fuels a lot of unnecessary negativity is what it does.
Right, exactly. I flew there, actually sat in the seat in the plane right next to Chris Rooney here yesterday, coming from Salt Lake to Dallas. And remember, Chris, he was the one that got the stick in the eye in Toronto here.
Yes. How's he doing?
He's doing okay. The first game he did in Edmonton was his first game back last game. And, he said, like, when that stick got me, he said, there was so much blood in my eyes. I said, like, were you thinking you maybe can't see? He says, I couldn't see anything. My eye was filled with blood. It was brutal. So, yes, it was a really scary. They stopped that game for like 10 minutes, and there was a pile of blood in the ice. And, yuck, it was ugly. But, no, he's doing great. He looks good. He's got a black guy, looks like a hockey player, and he's ready to work tonight with Wes McCauley.
Spec, enjoy the game. And here's an odd one for you. It is hotter today in Edmonton than it is in Dallas.
I heard this, 32 there, eh?
Yeah.
32
here and 30 in Dallas.
I will say I'm not in Edmonton, so I don't know for sure, but I'd bet you cold beer that it's steamier and more humid here. I just took a cab and a walk that usually takes me 10 minutes. I'm wearing a suit and carrying a bag. I ain't walking, or I'd be sweating like a dog here. So anyway, nice to know. We're coming on some good weather. Can't wait for it.
That should be good. Spec, enjoy the game, buddy. We will chat with you tomorrow.
Yep.
There you go. That's Mark Spector, the Spec Report, brought to you by GS Construction. We'll return with 5 questions. We got the pregame show coming up and more. It's a Gregor Show, live and on the rocks. Jasper Ave, 118th Street, your place to watch the game tonight. Of course, all sorts of specials, Pink Whitney's. Hey, remember, Cloud 9. You want to have a Cloud 9 before you come here. Just calms you down. It's unbelievable. The spritz are so good. So check that out at OTR.
Silent Ice Sports and Entertainment is an innovative market leader across Western Canada with sports and entertainment properties, including the Spruce Grove Saints, the Junior Prospects Hockey League, Silent Rides Charter Company, the Hockey Super League, and the newly launched Female Super League. Silent Ice also owns the Western Hockey League Seattle Thunderbirds and operates the Morinville AAA Arena. The Silent Ice Center, a new state-of-the-art entertainment facility, is open in Nisku, which features 2 sheets of ice, including a 1,600-seat arena and a restaurant with a viewing area.
Adventure just doesn't stumble into your life. It roars to life with Riverside Motorsports. Tearing up trails or cruising the open road. Yamaha ATVs, side-by-sides, motorcycles, and dirt bikes deliver the performance you crave. Built for thrills, ready for your next adventure. Yamaha's legendary performance and reliability take you there. Make Mother Nature your playground on a Yamaha from Riverside Motorsports. Located on St. Albert Trail. RideRiverside.com. Riverside Motorsports. What you do for fun is our business.
Hold on to your hockey helmet, Edmonton. On the Rocks is serving up 60-cent wings that fly off the plate faster than a slap shot. And Molson Canadians for $5.25. OTR's TVs, hey, they're so clear you'll see the puck better than the ref. That ain't hard, is it? And every game night during Edmonton's playoff run, specials start 30 minutes before puck drop and last for the whole game. Be a part of the legend. See the menu at ontherocks.yeg.com.
Get moving with Volvo and save big for summer during the May sales event at Volvo Cars Edmonton. It's the final month to lease or finance a 2025 XC90 plug-in hybrid from 1.49% and save $5,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 plug-in hybrid from 0.49% and save $3,000. Lease or finance a 2025 XC40 from 0.49% and save up to $2,000. Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better services. Only at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
A pizza from Papa John's is already pretty great, but you know what's even better? 2 pizzas from Papa John's. For a limited time, get a medium 1-topping pizza for only $6 when you order any large specialty pizza at regular price. The works, the meats. Pick your favorite specialty pizza and get even more delicious Papa John's to enjoy. Whether you're feeding your family, your team, or yourself, get your next meal from your locally owned and operated Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
My utility bills are going through the roof. How can I take advantage of the sun and put my lazy roof to work?
Sounds like a job for the men and women of Action Electrical.
Energy team reporting. When you're ready to make your home or business more efficient, Action Electrical has the power to install solar panel systems and EV chargers.
Facing an electrical menace? Call on the men and women of Action. Operating throughout Alberta with supercharged skills and strong family values. ActionElectrical.net.
Hey, Alberta, the all-new Play Alberta app is here. Casino, sports betting, lottery, all in one app, right on your phone. And because it's Play Alberta, you know it's safe, secure, and reliable. Download it now and play over 500 online casino games, live dealer tables, and unique games you'll love. Plus, bet on sports from anywhere in the province. You in? Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and deposit using promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus on the house. That's promo code OIL for a $100 casino bonus.
I'm tired of waking up tired. Waking up tired.
Are you tired of waking up tired? Come visit our sleep experts at the Brick Mattress Store. Get Canada's guaranteed lowest prices on all things sleep. Plus, try your new mattress for 6 months. If you don't love it, we'll find one you do. Some conditions apply. Stop waking up tired. Get the right mattress guaranteed. Only at the Brick Mattress Store.
Work hard, get dirty, build better communities. If that sounds like a good day's work to you, GS Construction wants you to be part of their team. Right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men and pipe layers for underground sewer and water work. So if you know your way around a trench, take pride in doing the job right, and want to be part of a crew that has your back, let's get to work together. Apply now at gsconstruction.ca.
If you bleed orange and blue and you're not using the all-new Play Alberta Sports and Casino app, then you're missing out. It's the only online sportsbook with odds boosts on all Oilers games. And now, it's not just sports. Play the slots, hit the tables, buy lottery tickets, all in one app, all across Alberta. Download Play Alberta now from your phone's app store and use promo code GOAL for a $100 bonus. That's promo code GOAL!
Portions of this hour brought to you by Papa John's. The pizza makers at Papa John's are making you 2 or more items for $9.99 each from their Papa Pairings menu, like medium 1-topping pizzas, boneless wings, cheese sticks, and more. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Rolling through a lovely Thursday afternoon. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley with you, Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. TR's with us as we get to 5 questions brought to you by The Brick. Hey, maybe this weekend Oilers win. You're like, what am I going to do? Well, stop into The Brick because they have unbelievable savings. Up to 50% off select mattresses. You know what? Just when you're there, just tour around for the ultimate leather couch. If you're a single guy, the black leather couch, if you didn't have one, you probably didn't have your own place because every guy had one, and they're the best at The Brick.
It's Time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, guys. Question number 1 per tradition, official game day prediction. And who do you think scored the first goal of the game?
Well, good to be back. Okay. I'm saying the Oilers win by 2. If I got to be specific, I'm going to say 5-3. And I got my money on Skinner or Ekholm.
I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Oilers win 3-2. And first goal of the game, I'm going to go with the hot man, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
All right, question number 2. What would you guys say is fair expectations for Mattias Ekholm in his first game since April 11th, where he only played a minute 52?
Well, he's going to play more in a minute 52. I can safely say that. I think Ekholm will play probably upwards of 18 minutes tonight, and I think he'll be solid.
Oh, I think he plays above expectations. I think he plays 20 minutes, and I think he's going to get a point. Put on your gear, you're 100%.
Question number 3. Jonathan Toews reportedly all in on playing next year. Is there a team that you think would be a good fit?
Man, I could see him a decent fit anywhere. We're looking at Canada, not anywhere actually, but a lot of places. If we're looking at Canadian teams, a team like, say, the Leafs, could use some leadership, if nothing else. I mean, he brings a lot. He's determined. I know he's old, and I know he went off with a bit of a whimper, but I have every bit of confidence. If he's wanting to come back, he's that determined, he's that focused. I would think for that reason he would fit well there. I think for the Oilers, they're already clicking. They're, I don't think they need to make any significant changes. But a team like the Leafs, team like the Habs, even not really in the Leafs expectation world, but he can really help. Leadership comes. There's a lot of teams that take on a lot of different forms that need different styles of leadership, and I just think his fits across the board. So I would say some team like that, half the league.
I think he's going to look to be on a competitive team. My question is, Toews was slowing down before this. And you're a center. Like Corey Perry's never been quick, right? Toews is always a decent skater. So I'm kind of curious what he has left in the tank, but I'm going to go with Winnipeg just because I think they're going to like him. And so, you know what, if he ends up being a fourth-line guy, and that's fine, right? Kills penalties, so I'll say Winnipeg.
Question 4, maybe kind of what TR was saying, but Leafs GM Brad Treliving saying the team needs to change between the ears after another playoff loss. So what do you guys think would be the best and or quickest route to doing so?
Well, get some guys who can play. You have to complement your best players with other players who can play with edge, because they don't have enough. Like, they don't have anybody who gets into a dogfight that's going to fight back. Like, none of their top 4 guys do it, and that's not a knock. That's just not their personality. So it's not going to work. And so if you have Matthews and then you play Sam Bennett with them, well, then maybe now Bennett isn't going to make Matthews a better player. He just might make him a harder player. So to me, that's what they got to do, is they got to find some guys. And ideally, I think they need somebody like, they brought in Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and, they bring in Evan. Yeah, these guys are great guys, but I want to bring in a guy who is a dominant player on a cup-winning team. Corey Perry, Duncan Keith. I think those guys have more, like, no offense, Chris Tanev. He won? He hadn't won anything. Like, he plays really hard, but he hasn't won anything. And so I think having someone who won something, who played, and who's vocal would be better.
Yeah, good point. And when I said Taves, I guess I went there because they need some leadership, but there are better options, of course, and he is aging. I mean, I just think he would fit there. But yeah, if you can get a guy like Bennett, and that's the thing, if they move on from Marner, everybody's freaking out, but they've opened up a lot of money, and you can get that and then some. So that's, the best possible player that I can get through trade or free agent that plays like Sam Bennett, and he's available. So I agree with you completely.
Final question for you guys. Today is the late Bob Hope's birthday. I think many people would say one of the greatest entertainers of all time. So when it comes to entertainers, who would your personal favorite be?
Oh, God, personal favorite for me? God, man. Look, I know he's way before my time, I know, and I don't want to sound repetitive when I come on this show, but it's hard not to put Elvis up there. I was always aware I'm a Beatles fan and everything, but I had all the Elvis records, and he literally died the year I was born. But I mean, Michael Jackson, I suppose I grew up with, but I don't know. Anybody who grew up like I did in the 80s and the 90s, Elvis was still very much a factor. There was still movies being written about him. He was still the king. And I just always looked at him as the biggest star ever.
If I'm going pure entertainers, I'm going to go with Jerry Seinfeld. Show is funny. I've seen many of his comedic shows. I love his whole sets and what he talks about and how he delivers it. So I'm going to go with Jerry Seinfeld. Cons?
Good answer.
And can I say Michael Jackson? Like, and I know there's the bad stuff and all that, but when he was younger as a showman, man, guy was pretty elite, pretty spectacular. The rest, not so much, but in that category, good.
Do you remember Greg's? You don't, Connor, merely because I believe you were on Earth. Do you really remember? I was about 8, 9 years old when he came out and did the moonwalk at the Grammys.
Well, I never watched. Dude, I grew up on the farm. We had peasant vision, so I never saw it live, but I did see it later on. Yeah, and I've seen the video of it, and it obviously, to me, I just remember Thriller. Thriller was the thing that grabbed it for me.
God.
That video was off the charts at that time.
Well, sorry to cut you off. I'm really not. Go ahead. Finish your thought on Thriller.
No, that was it. I was done. Thriller was the one for me. That's where I kind of was like, oh, this guy's pretty good.
I find it wild because that was like MTV had been there, but that was it. When that video came out, it was like, whoa, this is a movie. This is a story. It was insane. To me, it was like the Sgt. Pepper is to albums what Thriller is to videos. And I thought it was so ahead of its time, and we went the other way. I just thought that here we're only going to get more technology after this. Next year or next decade, it'll be holograms, and it'll all be about. And it didn't become about the video at all. Videos now are almost too long for people to watch. I just give me a 14-second clip and I'm good. Well, and I did not see that coming. It's almost in a box, that whole videos as movies thing, and hopefully it comes back. But there was nothing like it, and I just don't see it ever happening again. Thriller.
TR, have yourself a great weekend. Pace yourself, and we'll chat with you next Tuesday, and we could be setting up the Stanley Cup final. So, well, we will be.
I'll see you there, my friends.
Awesome. All right, buddy. There you go. That's Terry Ryan, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley with you. Sports 1440, Oilers Nation, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. We are live at OTR Jasper Ave, 118th. Walks is joining us next for the pregame show after a Connor Halley Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. More than just tires. If you make your way, buddy, if this is the day you're on the road, maybe you got the convertible out. Well, the last thing you want to be is stuck on the side of the road. Stop in at Fountain Tire. They'll do your tires, do your brakes, check all your fluids to make sure that you are driving and running smoothly. FountainTire.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Puck drop set for just after 6. Pre-game coverage coming up next with Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Jason Gregor. And the association Knicks Pacers meeting at MSG. Tip off at 6 o'clock. Indiana leading 3-1 in that series. And in the majors, Jays hosting the Athletics in about 5 minutes time. Right now, Phillies and Braves scoreless heading into the second. Earlier today in the game, one other doubleheader, was the Phillies victorious by a score of 5-4. Also tonight, Mariners, Nationals, and the Rays in Houston. Coming up next here on Sports 1440, the Jason Gregor Show continues with pregame coverage. Andrew Walker, Donovan Paulson, and Jason Gregor. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Explore beyond the boundaries of capability and value during Truck Month at GMC. Right now, get 0% financing for up to 72 months on the 2025 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Pro Graphite. With a TurboMax engine delivering 310 horsepower, GMC Pro safety features including automatic emergency braking, plus a max towing of up to 9,500 pounds. You'll be ready for anything this Truck Month. Ask your GMC dealer for details.
The big one is here at the Brick. Big deals and even bigger savings. Score up to 25% off sofas, sectionals, and recliners. Up to 25% off TV stands, wall units, and fireplaces. Save 50% on beds when you buy 3 matching bedroom pieces. Plus, save the tax when you buy 3 major kitchen appliances. Finally, start sleeping better when you save up to 50% off select mattresses. These big deals won't last long. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order noodle at noodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order noodle at noodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order noodle.ca. Noodle.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 Triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the 2 best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
A fire ban is now in place for northern and central parts of Alberta where wildfire danger is extreme. Because of hot, windy conditions, wood-burning fires are not permitted on public or private land. For more information about bans or restrictions in your area, visit albertafirebans.ca. To report wildfires in the forest protection area, call 310-FIRE. That's 310-FIRE. A message from the Government of Alberta.
And it's another big goal from number 1, Titan Supply. They're dominating this series. Looks like a clean sweep.
Spring cleanup is an easy win with Titan Supply. Not only can you trust them to lift, dig, and haul, but with their spring special on industrial brooms, cleaning grime, rocks, and dirt from parking lots, streets, and more is a breeze. Their service inspections help ensure you're safe and ready for the upcoming season. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Are you tossing and turning at night, unable to sleep because of mounting debt? Debt can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to face it alone. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I'm here to guide you every step of the way so you can find peace of mind and finally rest easy. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book a free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
Sports 1440 presents the Cross Mitsubishi Pregame Show, powered by Cross Mitsubishi at 34th Avenue and 96th Street. They offer a huge selection of new and used vehicles. Check them out today. Now, here's your pregame host, Andrew Walker.
Is the Cross Mitsubishi pregame show, getting ready for the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars, game number 5 in Texas. And for the second time in 2 years, the Edmonton Oilers with the win. It still seems weird to say, with a win, can punch their ticket back to the Stanley Cup final. I'm Andrew Walker, Jason Gregor, Donovan Paulson back at the station. A lot of today I've been thinking about just how on the one hand, it feels like old hat, right? Like Oilers' deep playoff run. This is the 3rd time in 4 years they've been in the conference final. The market's kind of used to it a little bit.
Yeah.
And at the same time, like you think about, I heard you on the show, in the long, storied Hall of Fame dynasty history of the Edmonton Oilers, this would be only the 9th when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't happen all the time. It happened in 2006. We can't stop talking about that. Now it has the potential to happen back-to-back years. So I guess my point is, don't get too used to it. Don't take it for granted. These playoff runs, man, like you look around this country, how many fan bases, how many cities would absolutely murder each other in the streets to have a run like this, right? So pretty amazing stuff.
I've said it many times. Now, Oilers fans went through the decade of darkness. So some of them are like, what the hell are you talking about, man? We stunk. Yes, that's true. You had a decade of terrible, but you had like arguably the greatest first decade ever for an organization in NHL history when you won 5 Stanley Cups in the first 10 years of your franchise existence, for I guess technically 11. But and then you still went to 2 conference finals after that. So you think about that, 6 trips to the Cup final, 2 other trips to the conference finals, 8 times in 13 years, you're in the Final Four. All right, like, are you joking? And you're just like, hey, this is normal. And then obviously it doesn't happen for a while. It's been a little bit of feast or famine maybe for the organization. That's fair to say. But the right now, the Oilers are in it. And, regardless of how deep they go this year, whether they win the Cup or they don't win the Cup, when next year starts, the Oilers will be considered one of the favorites because they got Connor McDavid, you got Leon Draisaitl, you got Evan Bouchard, you go down the list. And what happens when they win is more guys are going to be like, man, I want to go there, right? Or guys that are here are like, I'll stay if it costs me a little bit less. Who cares? Because once you've established yourself as an NHL player, I don't care. You make 10 million, you make 30 million, whatever the number, 50 million, like the case of Adam Henrique. The extra million, it's irrelevant to the happiness of your life. But you win a Stanley Cup, man, that gives you something you cannot buy. Your paycheck will never cover it, and you will have those memories and that feeling that you'll be sitting down and you'll never forget it.
Edmonton was always the opposite of that. They could get the Adam Henriques of the world by offering them more money than he deserved and than anybody else could. And then you force this guy into a decision. Okay, do I want year 1 million to chase a cup, or do I, want 4x4, to maybe not win for a few years, but more money in the bank? And number one, it's not a great way to team build, but it's the script has been flipped, and winning begets more winning, which lets you get more players. Like, even look at the Florida Panthers; they have this mini dynasty run. They have oodles of, they made a lot of tough decisions this past offseason. They let a lot of guys go.
Montour went, and, Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
All the guys that went to the Leafs, and they're right back in it. You can debate whether they're better or worse than a season ago, but they're going to be in the top 2 in the league. Now they have a bunch of cap space. They're going to be right back next year and the year after and probably the year after, right? They'll have no tax state. So it's one of those, it just keeps on, the hits keep on coming. Like, good teams stay good. They say this all the time in sports, Cleveland Browns, Oilers, decade of darkness, bad teams stay bad. That's how it is.
No, it is true. It's hard to get out of the cycle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's hard. It takes a while. You need a string of good decisions, because usually it's a combination of bad decision after bad decision after bad decision that leads you to being a bad team, right? Like, it's not just one decision and suddenly you're good to bad. It's not how it works. It's multiple ones. You compound your errors by making another error. And then conversely, like, you look at Florida, and Bill Zito came in. Hey, when they signed Sergei Bobrovsky, heck, even the own organization was sour on Sergei Bobrovsky at $10 million. They're like, oh, Spencer Knight's our guy. They paid him $4.5 million, but they were like, you know what? Not ready. We'll put him in the minors. Sergei found his game again. Here we go.
And they traded Spencer Knight.
Yeah. And then, but you look at the trades they made: Tkachuk, Bennett, Reinhart. Like, those 3 trades alone were unreal. Not to mention, hey, they got lucky, good to be lucky, whatever, and Forsling off of waivers, and they made some really good moves. And now we'll see. Like, I think Florida, I won't be surprised if they go down the road of Tampa Bay. Aaron Ekblad, you did a lot for us. It's time to move on. We're not going to pay you the big contract at your age because you're not going to age well, and we're going to move on, and we'll bring in someone else. Sam Bennett's a tough one because I think they really like to keep him, and I think he probably wants to go there. I'm curious. No, he's making 4.4. Would he go up to 7? Probably. Biz was so out to lunch mentioning $10 million. Like, the guy scored 50 points once. Let's be realistic here. But he's a hell of a player.
Well, it just takes one,
But it's not $10 million.
But still, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I agree with you on the Ekblad thing. I think Ekblad, this is not an insult to him. I think he holds himself in very high regard. But the Panthers, they're not quite Vegas ruthless, but I could see Ekblad playing elsewhere.
Oh,
and they saved their money, and
they brought in Seth Jones, and they got Seth Jones at $7 million.
And even that, like there wasn't, not everybody in that organization was set on the idea of Seth Jones. He's a very polarizing player.
Really,
in the National Hockey
League. I thought
League.
that was a when the minute that trade was made, I'm like, that is such a win for Florida.
But they're also, it was also a bet that we can fix this guy a little bit because
Yeah.
he wasn't perfect, and he's still getting paid
No,
a
he's
lot
not-
of money.
Yeah,
but,
it's not perfect, but good players who play lots of minutes end up looking worse on bad teams.
Oh, 100%, 100%. But you can get like Seth Jones he had been doing that for a decade. Right?
I thought he was pretty good and before he got to Chicago, right? Like he signed in Chicago, and then the next year they went scorched earth. He had no chance,
no good.
right?
Yeah.
Like they would just say, "Hey, Seth, we signed you at all this money. Sorry, now we're going to rebuild."
I'm just saying there were some people in that organization. Like it wasn't an obvious move for them. There was some Bill. He was definitely Bill Zito's guy for sure. He wanted him, and he had veto power, but not everybody wanted him. There's a few guys there that didn't think Seth Jones had enough of the ability to have a pulse to get back in. He clearly has. I thought which game was that game? Well, game 7. Or it was a game 5 against the Leafs. I thought he played his best game of his career. Yeah,
he was
game
unreal
7
against Toronto.
Andrew Walker, Jason Gregor, the Cross Mitsubishi pregame show. Visit Cross Mitsubishi today and drive your ambition. 9605 34th Ave and crossmitsubishi.ca. Okay, so I was listening to your show today. There's obviously, we know the storylines. Number one, you have a chance with the win. I'll repeat it, to punch your ticket to the Stanley Cup final. If this was some, let's say Cinderella miracle run, a la the 06 variety, this would be a big moment. Like when you're sitting there and you realize, oh my goodness, with one win, we're playing for the cup. I think that has the potential to be a stumble point for a lot of teams and a lot of players. It's a big time moment. I really don't put that into the equation for Edmonton. I don't think it bothers them at all. Like I just feel they have been in so many massive games. They've always answered the bell. I don't think that plays into it. You've been so good 5-on-5. You're good. Dallas is a good team. You might see a push tonight. Ottinger will have a lot to say, but if you're Edmonton, I don't think the nerves of the moment matter one bit. I think they did for Carolina last night, right? They got up 2-0 and, but for Edmonton, that's one thing. I've heard a little chatter about that today. I don't put any stock into it. I think the others are so just bred for these moments.
There's no reason for them to be nervous. Like they've been the better team for the majority of the series. Now, at the same time,
they were in the situation against Vegas, by the way, right? It's a guy you lose, you come back home, you get a chance to win game 6.
You're not going to be overconfident by any stretch of the imagination. But I think last year, and I remember talking to the players, like they really felt like their slow start, not that they played horribly because they probably could have won game 1. But they didn't get the results, and then they made it so much harder. Now you have no room for error. So you give Dallas a chance to win tonight, and maybe Dallas earns it. Maybe Edmonton plays really well, and Jake Onger stands in his head, and they lose 2-1. It's possible, right? Like you don't feel bad about it, but you never want to give a team life. That's just the truth, and it's more taxing for the Oilers. Now, if they lose tonight, they win Saturday. They got a week off either way, but I think Edmonton, you win tonight. You send such a message to your team that we just beat Vegas and Dallas, who most people considered to be two of the best teams. Most people had them ranked higher than Edmonton when the playoffs began.
Oh, 100%. And myself included.
And they beat them 8-2 in a really convincing fashion. And that's the thing. Like, Walks, the 5-on-5 play has been so dominant. And very quietly, the Oilers' power play has scored a goal in every game.
Mm-hmm.
They scored 2 last game. Their power play is now 29% in the playoffs. Guess what it was last year? 29%. The difference is last year they scored way more goals because they had 75 power play opportunities the whole playoffs. This year they have 38. Like they're down.
Yeah, that's
right?
been a theme of this team all year.
It's made a big difference. They're not getting as many power plays. Their power play is still as lethal. It just doesn't get the chance to be lethal.
Well, and I look at a closeout game, okay, and I'm not saying they were nervous, but you look back to this situation last year. That was game 6, not game 5. Over the last 4 years and all these playoff wins, you could count, and this is being very generous, on one hand, the amount of games that the Oilers weren't great and their goalie pulled it out of the fire. The clinching game last year, that was that, right? Stuart Skinner was insane. Like, obviously, McDavid scored the highlight reel goal around Heiskanen. They made it 2-0 early, but then they hung on for 55 minutes. And, those last 2 minutes were unbelievable theater. And then they held on and they were going to the cup, and then they didn't win for another week and a half. But, I think that I don't expect a game like that. If I expect more of a game 5 against Vegas sort of thing, right? Like they rolled Vegas. in the series, but they still won. The final game was 1-0 in overtime. So, in and of itself, individually, those games can be tight. But listen, and this makes me sound like a bit of a pessimist, but I'm with you with the statement being, rolling Vegas and potentially rolling Dallas going into the postseason. I'll admit, I thought if the Kings were ever going to do it, this was the year. And then it was 2-0 LA, and it looked kind of validating in that moment. And then they completely took over that series and made the Kings quit. And then what was, I know I felt this, it was like, okay, so they own the Kings, obviously. Vegas ain't the Kings. No, they rolled them.
Yeah.
Right? Well, okay, well, Dallas isn't Vegas. Get ready for Dallas. They're rolling them. And I know already people are like, well, listen, Florida. Now, Florida's listen, it's not impossible that they just roll their way to this thing. Like, it's not impossible.
No, not at all. Edmonton is playing so well. Their best players are still dominant. McDavid was 1.68 points last year. He's 1.6. Draisaitl is actually more productive this year than he was last year because he got hurt in the Vancouver series. And like Draisaitl, I think people forget, in the first two series, Draisaitl had 24 points. He only had 7 points in the last two series because he was banged up. And now, so you have a healthy Draisaitl. I know they don't have Zach Hyman this year, but you have a healthy Draisaitl. You got a healthy Nurse. Ekholm's back. I think the Oilers are better. I firmly believe they're better. Overall, they got way better depth. Kapanen's playing great. Brown, Janmark. Heck, Arvidsson comes in. He plays fine. Klingberg and Wallman have been a huge addition on the back end.
Well, and so much this year. We use so much energy talking about the offer sheets, right? And Holloway and Broberg. Now, those guys had fantastic years. But it's sometimes easy to lose sight of the fact that, okay, so will those guys be pretty good players in the future? Would you love to have them? Sure. But as it relates to this year's club in comparison to last year's club, Holloway and Broberg weren't all-stars for the Oilers last year.
No.
So in the short term, you're trying to win. Would you love those guys in the organization? Yeah, obviously you would. But it's not like they got in the immediate future that much worse with that move.
Jake Wallman as a left defenseman in the playoffs is doing more than Broberg did as a left defenseman in the playoffs last year.
Well, Broberg didn't even play until basically tonight, game 4 or 5, right? Yeah. Yes, Wallman. I mean, Klingberg has been found money. Brett Kulak's playing the best hockey of his career. I put Nurse in the same category. Okay, so the big changes tonight, obviously there's no Hyman, but Ekholm is in. You've been talking about it all day. Totally different players, obviously different positions. But I would say, like, when you're describing a fully healthy Oilers team, the two most important guys, we know who those guys are. It's McDavid, Draisaitl. And then you have 5 or 6 guys after that are very important, and they kind of take turns in terms of who has the most impact.
Bouchard, to me, would be 3.
And sure, when he's right. When he's not, I mean, I put Ekholm right there.
Yeah.
My point is, Ekholm and Hyman play different roles, but they're in the same category of impact. So you do lose Hyman, so you got to, try to fill that role a little bit. But getting Ekholm back, if Ekholm is right, it creates a huge impact.
Oh, it's massive. You look at, so I have Bouchard 3, then you have Ekholm, you have Nurse, you have Hyman, you have Nugent Hopkins, right? And they're all there. And like Nugent Hopkins is playing great. So I don't think that he's suddenly not going to play good. But Ekholm comes back in, and I'd love the Troy Stetcher story. I love Troy Stetcher as a human being. I love talking to him. He's a great guy. I loved his honesty. He's like, Ekholm's a better player than me. So if you look at the minutes,
smart. He's right.
You look at the minutes that when Stetcher's on the ice and now Ekholm comes on the ice, your team's better. I've seen people, well, yeah, but the Nurse whisper, like, I'm sorry, people.
No, not a thing. No.
It's so false. You don't, I'll recommend you don't spread it because the numbers, just look at their on ice numbers, right? It doesn't match. Like, yes, they didn't get scored on, but in the 6 games that Troy Stetcher's played, the Edmonton Oilers as a team have allowed 3 goals, 5-on-5. No defenseman's been on for more than 1 goal against. So not being on is not like this, oh my God, they're playing so much better than everyone else. Ekholm makes your team better, full stop. I don't care if Kulak's playing with Nurse. I don't really care what the numbers suggest. I put Nurse and Kulak. I still believe Nurse and Kulak can do more on a night-by-night basis than Nurse and Stetcher and Ekholm and Bouchard together, right? Ekholm, Bouchard, Kulak, Nurse. I will take that foursome over Bouchard, Kulak, Nurse, and Setcher. I just do every day. Every day.
Ekholm is an all-star caliber defenseman, and Troy Stetcher has done an unbelievable job, yeoman's work.
Yes.
It takes one little injury, Stetcher's right back in. But listen, Darnell Nurse, his salary and everything that's been off-debated in this city, Darnell Nurse is not playing unbelievable hockey because of Troy Stetcher. Darnell Nurse is a very good player that people are just kind of starting to, I think, appreciate here.
They'll never. Some just can't get over the contract, and that's fine. I laugh because I'm like, there's no contracts in the playoffs. But Nurse, go look at his numbers in the second and third round, right? Like, yeah, the first few games against LA, yeah, they weren't good, but you could like name a player who was other than McDavid in the first game. The third period, McDavid was unreal. But other than that, the Oilers as a team weren't good. Since then, they've been great. And Nurse has played the most minutes of any player 5-on-5. Where have the Oilers dominated 5-on-5? You can't tell me that Nurse hasn't been impactful. It's impossible.
Jeff Skinner's also in today. I'll admit it surprised me a little bit. I thought it was a really easy time to go 11-7 as well. Here's the one thing, though, and everyone knows I'm not the biggest Jeff Skinner guy. Well, number one, he is an NHL player. I'll give him that. He's going to be fired up tonight. Whatever that means in the pantheon of his game. But, and this isn't just, having blind faith. Maybe it is a little bit. I have really grown to appreciate Chris Knobloch's read. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to be the guy that goes on some message board. Coach is an idiot. Man. Stanley Cup push, so I'm not a big Skinner guy. I'll admit I'm a little surprised, but let's see how he plays.
Well, in my conversations with people on the organization, the big reason why they're going 12-6 was because Hyman and Brown are out. You go 11 forwards. Hyman and Brown play a lot of minutes, so now you're going to ask a lot of other guys like McDavid and Draisaitl are already playing 23 and 22 minutes, right? Like, do you want to set? So even if they jump up to 25 each. Right, that's still not taking out the minutes of Hyman and Brown. So this way, if you have 12 forwards, you don't have to ask some guys to end up playing 3 or 4 minutes more than they're used to because they're not used to doing it.
Yeah.
And that was their reason. And I think it's like, hey, every defenseman will tell you 7D men suck. So if you like the 6, but you also have I think if Brown and Hyman were healthy, you might have had an argument. Now, then which forward are you taking? Oh, I guess Arvidsson would come out. Okay, sure.
And as you know, the seven thing is it's a PTSD from Ekholm's first game back. But listen, they're up 3-1, so he's not like, we got to get him in, even if it's on one leg. It can't be.
He
that
wanted
situation.
to play last game, and they held him up.
Yeah. So he'll be good to go. I'm not worried about that.
Worst case scenario, if he only plays 3 minutes. Well, those other 5 defensemen played 5 D-men for how many games with Troy Emerson, right?
Yeah, until they went from Emerson to Stetcher. Yeah.
He was basically playing penalty kill in a few minutes.
I guess for me, they're different positions, but if you're looking at a meritocracy or whatever, like Troy Stetcher, he doesn't deserve to be out of the lineup, right? So like whatever way to keep him in if you have to run 7, but he's just been so good. But you're not breaking up Klingberg and Wallman at this point. So it's just one. There's just one choice.
I thought it was. I get that people in Edmonton, they love the underdog story, and I totally get it. And Stetcher came in. You know what? Stetcher did his job. He played very well as a depth role guy, and now you've got Ekholm back, and they win the cup. Troy Stetcher, when he gets his day with the cup, if the Oilers win, he's like, man, I wasn't just a guy sitting in the press box who never played. I came in and I did my job and I did it very well, and he'll have a lot of respect of his team.
It is the Cross Mitsubishi pregame show. The Weiss Johnson text line is open 1-833-401-1440. Speaking of the text line, let's give you your River Cree over under for tonight. The River Cree Resort and Casino, where you can watch all your favorite sports, including the Stanley Cup Finals and Game 5 tonight, live at the Center Bar and at Tap 25, rivercreeresort.com. Tonight, well, if we're going to focus on Mattias Ekholm, so we give you a proposition, something to watch for in the game. You text us over or under on the Weiss Johnson text line. We could send you $100 to the River Cree Resort and Casino. 19:59, Mattias Ekholm's ice time. Does he get to 20 minutes tonight? Right on the number. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, 20 minutes is an over. Anything less is an under. Fire us a text and something to watch for with Mattias Ekholm.
Now, if the game goes to OT,
then it's an automatic over. Yes,
I like 1959. That's actually a pretty good one.
Because it was interesting too in Game 4. The D minutes, the numbers, they were like down, like they spread out, right? They trust Stetcher so much. Like Bouchard was, if he was at 20 minutes, it was barely, I want to say.
Yeah.
You know, we're used to see him 23, 24, but man, Paul Coffey's just rolling these guys. You have complete trust. I think Wallman takes the odd risk, which I don't love. Other than that, man, I have very few. That's being picky, to be honest.
Yeah,
I have very few complaints about the Oilers D and the way they've been moving.
There's nothing like when you give up as few goals that they have lately, and then chances, and then when they do give up chances, Skinner in this series has been lights up.
5-on-5, they've just been unbelievable. That's why I think they're going to win tonight. If you want a prediction, there's been just so many games in this playoffs that I'm like, okay, they'll be ready, they'll come out, but man, the other team has a lot to say about this, don't they? And just each and every time, I'm always just wowed with the professionalism of Edmonton. So to me, there's just, I don't know, if they play like that 5-on-5, there's no reason they don't close it tonight. Give Dallas a reason to quit. Just give them.
Yeah, well, score first, because that's what they've done every game in the series. They haven't played from behind very often, only 14 minutes. And I really think that.
Which is funny because the first 6 wins of the playoffs were all come from behind.
Yeah,
right?
it's true. They said, okay, enough of that. Yeah. Let's be front runners, and it's a lot easier on them, I think.
We'll read some of your texts as the pregame show moves on. Also, our game day analyst, former NHLer Landon Ferraro, will join us next. Thanks for this, Jay. Enjoy the game.
I will. Have a good one.
We'll talk to you. Well, I mean, I suppose it'll be next week. It'll either be Game Monday 7, knock on wood, or the Stanley Cup final
on Wednesday.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. We're at On the Rocks, Saturday. Jasper 118th. Cross Mitsubishi pregame show continues after this. Sports 1440.
Touch base on the Weiss Johnson text line, 1-833